Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Slice of Gaming Podcast, episode 111 for August 15th, 2025. I'm your host, The Uncharted Wolf. Today we have a pretty slow news week, like uncharacteristically slow news week. There really wasn't much of anything that happened this week of major consequence. But I have some fun games for the two guys I've got here today. First and foremost, I got my man Fusion. How you doing, Fusion?
Doing good. And with this panel here today, this slow news week will still take 2 hours. So
The other person is, of course, our favorite yapper, Bop.
Okay. What? I'm being framed here. Thank you for having me. Taylor Swift couldn't be able to join us today, so I was able to fill in for her place.
Her new album out?
October 3rd, Life of a Showgirl, on all major music platforms.
Interesting. Okay. Well, shout outs to Taylor Swift fans out there. What are they called? Swifties, I think?
They are called Swifties, yeah. I heard
Don't
Bench is
say
like a
they.
huge one.
Don't say they, Bop. I know you're one.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not into the. You know what's actually funny though is that I did not realize. You know how like sometimes video game developers or just in general, like people will do like ARGs for like
Yeah.
games and stuff. I had no idea Taylor Swift is like the biggest. Like she loves her Easter egg, like ARG, like little like defined stuff. I got to give respect to Swifties because they are investigative forensic experts at this point because of all the stuff she does.
Yeah, I can't imagine trying to like just sit there every day like, okay, she said this word, so maybe that means the next album is about grief. It's just
How
like
do we
weird
relate
shit
it
like
back to the number 13? How does this all come back?
Exactly. All right, well, boys, if you guys want to find us, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, every other podcast platform. We're on it. Follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming, and give us a review. Give us a like. Apple Podcasts, YouTube really helps us out a ton. I think we're ready to get into it. Before we even get to the news, Bob, you and me had a big conversation about MCU movies, and Jack, our homie, decided to actually make a poll for the Slice of Gaming Discord. It's like, oh, submit your top 10 favorite Marvel like MCU movies, and we are like, okay, cool. And I don't know, he didn't put names, so I don't know who voted for what, but he gave me the results. Now, what do you guys think? I'll just ask you right off the top. What do you think is number one?
Infinity War.
I'm gonna say Infinity War, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you think? I was about to say, what do you think is number 10? That's a less interesting question.
It's an interesting question.
No, what do you think then?
I'm gonna say Black Panther.
Better not be.
I'm gonna say one of the Guardians of the Galaxies. I don't know which one, but one of them.
Fusion, let me tell you, you're right on the money. Number 10. Number 10 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yeah, no, he did mention it was about to leave the list. Yeah, that actually tracks.
I tell you, this is the one where I'm like, this shouldn't be on the list. I do not like this movie.
I love the ending of this movie. I'm actually someone who has this movie higher than Guardians of the Galaxy 1, so.
Yeah, I mean, I get why people like it if you really like those characters a ton. Like, that's the one thing where I'm like, that's fair. But, like, that whole, like, ending sequence and battle just kind of left a sour note. And also, I'll be honest, this is a me thing. And I think this is a bit unfair because it was more so how it was marketed. But, like, God, I hate Baby Groot. I'm so sick of Baby Groot. And it was like for 2 years we had Baby Groot, but I was already tired of him.
He was kind of cute.
Yeah, he was cute. And then it was like we kept having him. It was like, oh my god.
Yeah, well, this is the first time we had him.
I don't like babyfications of characters I like. It was the same thing with Baby Yoda. I'm like, no, he's an adult.
Wolf, known baby hater. No wonder you don't like Death Stranding.
Hey, look. Okay, like Death Stranding, but you got the baby hater part right. It's like I don't know what's going on between those eyes. Like I feel like they have thoughts, but they don't have any. It freaks me out. Number 9. I thought this was interesting. Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah, it's not that surprising. I almost had it on my list, but I feel like it's hard to beat the nostalgia. Like we talked about it, Wolf. It's just like this nostalgia bait of that movie is so strong.
It's very strong.
I like it
higher, honestly. So.
Yeah, I think my only thing is that it's like on a like rewatch and reevaluation of that movie, it's like it's a little messy.
Oh,
Mainly
for
the
sure.
plot point of like Doctor Strange and like Toby or not Toby, Tom Holland, Spider Man. That whole causation of how the multiverses come together, I thought was kind of silly. Number 8, The Avengers, the first one, which I thought would be higher because I really, really like that movie.
Me too.
think
I
that's
thought
a-
that would be higher.
That's about where I put it. I think is right in the low top 10.
Number 7, this is my favorite Marvel movie, Thor Ragnarok.
Okay.
I
Good
love
one.
this movie. It's a great comedy. It's very. I think I like it because I think it understands what it's going for, and I think it handles the Thor IP in a more interesting way. Where it's like, no, we're going to be a bit more silly. And then Love and Thunder happened, and it kind of ruined it. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I think this one out of all of the MCU movies, I think struck the best balance between comedy and it still being a very entertaining movie.
exactly. Number 6, another one of my favorites, Iron Man, the first one.
Yep.
Gosh, that should be higher. That should
It
be
really
higher,
should.
man.
It's started the MCU. It's so good.
It is so good. And I know, like, I don't know, it was probably someone like Binks that wrote in, never seen it, because he was 4 years old and was like, here we go. On the list.
I think the one hang up on that movie is like the villain. Like it being just a bigger Iron Man
Oh,
is kind of lame.
nah, dude. What's his face? I almost said Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Bridges, right?
I think it was Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Uh,
God, he was so good as the. I mean, the actual like super villain part of
yeah,
it.
I think that's more what I meant. It's just like I like his character, but I didn't like the final fight of just like, oh, it's a
Right.
bigger Iron Man.
Right.
But I mean, I'll always quote he built it in a box or a cave with a box full of scraps
So
all the
good.
time. Number 5, the first Guardians of the Galaxy, which makes sense.
Oh wow, that's lower than I thought it would be.
I think when you see the top 4, it makes more sense.
Sure.
Number 4, number 4 is Captain America: Civil War.
Okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that's
yeah.
exactly where I put Civil War on my list. So
Yeah.
that
It
works
was
out.
9 for me. I like it. There's some like aspects of it on reevaluation I really dislike. Mainly just Captain America and Iron Man's kind of dislike of each other never really kind of rang hollow for me. But even then, it's like it's still a fun movie.
That movie introduces Black Panther, right?
What's up?
Does that movie introduce Black Panther?
Yeah, that was the first one
Okay.
with Black Panther and Tom Holland Spider-Man. Oh no, was Tom Holland before?
No,
that was
no, I
2017.
think that was.
Yeah, this is the introduction because
Yeah.
Civil War was 2016. That was a big moment when Spider-Man was in the trailer, dude. I remember when that was trending. Simple times. Number 3, Avengers: Endgame.
Yeah.
Great
But
movie.
I understand why it's up there.
Great movie. Love the ending. It is very messy, as per time travel movies tend to be.
So messy. I don't know. That movie to me, it's like Infinity War is so strong, and then you have Endgame, and like the first, for one, Endgame's way too long, and like the first 2 hours of Endgame, I'm bored. I'm just like, dude, we're not doing anything special here with Endgame. So like, but I know it is like the Marvel, you know, what I mean, it's the Marvel movie that everyone thinks about. So like, I understand why it's always in the top 5 on any Marvel list.
I think for me, I'm just such a sucker for time travel movies, so it kind of worked for me in the first 2 hours. But I'm with you though; it is very messy.
Okay, but hold on, Wolf. Now that you've recently seen it, Back to the Future or Endgame? Strictly on a time travel movie.
I mean,
comparison.
so the time travel aspect. Oh, Back to the Future.
Okay, all right.
It's
Yeah, I
less
mean it's
messy.
hard to say, like, because I was gonna say like Endgame. I feel like people, and I definitely have it so high, not because of the movie itself, but it is like the penultimate like culmination of 10, 12 years of Marvel movies, and I feel
like we'll
it's
never
hard.
get it again in a theater. Like,
Right, like
that's
it's hard not to vote it that high, but like on the actual basis of the movie itself, like it's probably a little lower.
I feel like there's no better way, like praise of a movie than when everyone agrees it should have ended. Like the series should have ended after this.
Yeah,
when it's like
right.
that's as high as a praise as you can get. Number 2, Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Nice.
Yep, that's very much just a cool ass spy movie. Really dig
so
it.
good. It's so like civil like I mean, Winter Soldier is always a Marvel movie that I can show to like people who don't like superhero stuff, and they can like it. Like it's the most like you can just sit here and like you said, it's like a spy movie at the end of the day. You can sit here and just thoroughly enjoy this as an action movie, not a superhero movie.
Yeah, when I think about like because I love the Avengers movies, but like I'm never like, oh, I just want to like throw on an Avengers movie. But like I am always able to throw on Thor Ragnarok, Iron Man, and Winter Soldier. Like they're just such great background watches. And then number one, you guys guessed it, Avengers: Infinity War.
I'm proud that this group of people put that over Endgame. You talk to so many people who have Endgame over this, and I'm just like, how? Like, Infinity War as a movie is just, it is the best Marvel movie by like a large margin, in my opinion.
I genuinely, Fusion, I used to be like, oh, Endgame over Infinity War. And then I really thought about it, and it's like, dude, Thanos is barely even in Endgame. And when he is, he's so lame. Whereas in Infinity War, he's like an S-tier Marvel villain.
Dude, we'll never get the feeling of leaving that theater when half of your favorite superheroes just died. Like they just, they just completely vanished. It's like leaving those theaters, seeing everyone depressed, and then people are walking into the theater about to watch a movie and have no idea what's about to happen. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, and I really think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, I was just to kind of go off what Fusion was saying. Like, I just remember being in the theater, like, they can't do it. They're not gonna do it. There's so many celebrities.
They're gonna end it. Yeah.
Like, they're not like no one's gonna get snapped, and then it happens, and like you see the dusting away of everyone. I'm like, oh my god, they're doing it. That is so ballsy.
Mm-hmm. And I think the movie that followed this was Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is really funny in hindsight because that movie sucks.
Dude, and this is the best. Like Thor and Infinity War is so good. Like,
yes,
he's just,
100%.
He's just all the blood. Like he just wants to kill, and I'm just like, it's so good.
And he's so lame in Endgame. Like I get what they were doing, but like it didn't work for me. He's such a badass in Infinity War. All right, well, we talked a lot about Marvel movies. I think that was a pretty good list, honestly.
Me too. There wasn't anything on that list. I'm like, how did that get in the top 10? Like that feels like a respectable top 10, and I can't think of many movies off the top 10. Maybe Black Panther that didn't get put on there, but like it feels fine to me.
I think my one thing, I wish Iron Man 1 was higher. Thor Ragnarok's my favorite, but like Iron Man 1 deserves to be top 5.
I think the only one that wasn't on my top 10 list was Spider-Man. I think I have Spider-Man and Black Panther. Spider-Man and Black Panther, and I think Ultron was like my 11, like Age of Ultron.
Oh, you guys are Age of Ultron fans.
I mean, I wouldn't put it in my top 10, but like
me neither. But it's like I've rewatched Ultron for some reason a lot more than the other Avenger movies.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I think Ultron is fun despite being pretty messy. My only real issue is like, damn, I just wish we got more Ultron on screen because he's such a good villain.
He's so good. He's the coolest villain they've ever had, in my opinion, and they just like they don't give him enough.
Yep. All right, that's enough Marvel talk. Let's talk about video games. Like I said, there's not a lot of news here, but I have 2 segments for you guys I think are going to be really fun. So let's get into it. First and foremost, big news story of the week. Crimson Desert has been delayed to Q1 2026. Not too much of a surprise, but very, very sad to hear. I saw Romano has this at Gamatsu. Prolobis has delayed open world action adventure game Crimson Desert from its previously planned late 2025 release window to Q1 26. Prolobis said in its Q2 25 earnings call, currently Crimson Desert has been in the process of voiceovers while also carrying out tasks such as console certification in preparation for its release. In the case of marketing, we plan to participate in Gamescom and PAX West this August to showcase our open world build. And in September, we will join the Tokyo Game Show to strengthen our marketing efforts in the Japanese market. So, unfortunate. Obviously, I think this is one of those things that I kind of could tell by August, like, yeah, this thing's probably not going to come out this year, which sucks. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I got enough to play this year. It's just like, damn, I was really holding out for this game because I thought it would be probably up there for my goatee.
I wasn't convinced yet that it was going to get delayed until obviously it did, but I was like fully on the boat of Gamescom, we're going to get a release date. I thought they were going to be like, oh, it's November something. Because I remember granted it was debunked, but we got like all those articles probably like 3 weeks ago to a month ago talking about like the release date's going to be the end of November. Like there were some people saying, yeah, this checks out. Other people were like, no, someone just made it up. But I was pretty convinced we were hit opening night live. It would be there, and then it would be like a November release, which maybe that was a plan at some point, and then they were like, "Just kidding, we can't do that." And now quarter 1, but it's just funny to think like this game's been delayed like 4 times. Like it's been delayed a lot.
I think it's only really that's what's weird. I think this has only been delayed twice because it was. Wait, no, was it originally unveiled for 23?
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
Was
Yeah,
it
you're right.
really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Oh wow.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because Dark put it on his Fantasy Critic and we all made fun of him.
I say yeah, and then Dark had it on his Fantasy Critic, and then like it's been multiple times where this game's like at least has a release year. I don't know if it's had like it hasn't really ever had a release date, but it's had release years and release windows, and it just hasn't hit it yet.
Yeah, and it's just this thing of like we never think it's a real game, and then we see people playing it. It's like, no, this is a very much a real game. People are playing it now, so it tells me it's like this thing is basically done. But as they said, voiceovers and console certification, which I gotta say, I don't believe console certification exists when you just take 5 minutes to look at the PSN store. Like just look at the PSN store for 5 minutes. It's like there is no way these guys got certified. I'm sorry.
Yeah. When they paid to get certified.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably it. Bob, any
will
thoughts
say-
on this?
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of glad it got delayed because I really do think that kind of that later November, December time slot, it isn't like I guess it's good for like going into the winter break, but I feel like this game deserves like more of a shine, and
Yeah.
pushing it into that spring summer, I think is just going to give it a bigger platform. Not that that really matters anymore, but to me, I'm just like, yeah, this feels more like a spring game, kind of like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 this year, where like you can spend some time and sink your teeth into it. And so and plus, like, let's be honest, if it missed the Game Awards deadline this year, it probably wouldn't have been nominated for the next year, so it has a better chance to like actually get some recognition as well next year.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think this is the type of game that like you do delay to give more of a chance in award season. And honestly, I wouldn't doubt if that was maybe the thing they were thinking about. Maybe they got to that in late November and they were like, oh, we could release it then, but like we're probably going to get forgotten, especially if it's after Black Friday and when holiday prep starts. Like, I feel like I've kind of been on the mind of like late November to early December. Let's save that for like your annual release, like save that for like your Call of Duties, your kind of the Pokemons, like the games that are like not gonna win the awards are just consistent releases, and also like your big JRPGs like an Octopath Traveler 0, where it's like this isn't gonna win like major awards, but like this is a good like winter break game. I think that would be a perfect scenario for like if you release a game around there. But like otherwise, I'm like you got to try to get it before at least in October in my eyes, or early November.
Yeah, that's a good point because it feels like, especially that early December range, is like you just put your game out to die. Like I was like Avatar, either last year or the year before, and then there was another one, and like it just feels like you put yourself in that low area. You're after the Game Awards, so no one's talking about you. You're like after Black Friday, so you couldn't go on sale. No one's buying you for Christmas, and you kind of just like exist. And it's like if you're gonna release that late, I think publishers now know, okay, let's just delay it until January, February, March. It's like those are all better months than a late November, early December window.
The only game that was able to kind of get away with that is Smash Brothers, and that's because
Smash
Brothers. It's like the biggest thing ever. So
that's my like random concern about Metroid is like if Metroid is an early December game, like sure it's probably gonna sell just because it's gonna be a big Switch 2 game, but like how many times, at least from an outside perspective, it feels like Nintendo doesn't help Metroid ever get the sales it needs, and then they complain about the sales of the franchise. Like, well, I don't know.
That's what's weird because Metroid Dread, that was a game that they definitely were like positioning in the best way. It launched with the Switch OLED. It had a very like good release date. There was nothing major around it outside of Mario Party, but that always sells. It had like the best position to succeed, and it still only sold like 3 million copies. I think it's just a case of like Metroid is not a major seller, sadly. But I feel like Prime 4 is the game that could be positioned to do that. I just think that it really is, at this point depends on its release date. And the fact that we haven't heard anything, if you're going to release it in November, At least just at that point, just delay it. I'd rather just have it in 20. I'll wait. It's fine. I've
Yeah.
waited long enough.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean yeah, just to kind of wrap it
yeah,
up.
go
I
for it.
mean, Indy released last year in December, and I'm and I've kind of said it from the beginning. It's like, wow, this is a great game, and I just don't see it being nominated for anything at the Game Awards this year, just because no one's gonna remember. That's gonna
Yeah.
suck.
So that's another good example. Yeah, like Indiana Jones, Avatar. What's with the license games? They're like throwing these things in
I-
December, and like they think they just have by name they have enough power, maybe, but I don't know.
I think they think they have the clout to be able to like, oh, you'll buy it no matter what. It's like, no, gamers are a bit more like receptive to that kind of thing, you know?
Especially like, granted, these are more for the hardcore gamers like us, but like
Mhm.
usually when December hits, we're backlog on finishing games for like our
Oh
game
yeah.
of the year stuff. So like when you drop a game like Indiana Jones last year, that's what happened. Most of us didn't get to it by Soggies because we were finishing up games from March, February, July. Like we were finishing up games. You drop a game on us in December, we're not getting to it by the time we get to Soggies. And I feel like that's a lot how like a lot of other outlets work very similar way. And it's just like we're playing cleanup now. You can't give us a brand new game.
100%. Well, we will see you soon, Crimson Desert. I'm still extremely excited for this game. I think everything we've seen about it. I mean, recently, like 13 minutes of gameplay went up. Still looks awesome. It's one of those games that I'm curious. Like, again, is it real? I saw one concern from a lot of people who played it, and it was that thing of like, man, how is he doing so many abilities? Like, there's so many different ways to fight in this game, and it's because the key bindings, like on controller, are hellish. It is very like, oh, hold R1 and then press the left stick and then press square, like stuff like that. That gets me a bit worried that this game's going to feel pretty unintuitive. Maybe it feels better on PC, but also, I mean, this type of game I'd want to play on a controller, so it would feel a bit weird. I'm curious to see if like maybe they help resolve that. It's like, oh no, we actually went back and tested it, or at the very least, like just let me change around my key bindings to like make things feel more comfortable.
That does kind of concern. I didn't know that. That kind of concerned me about the controller aspect. Which, when you do look at the game, it does look like there's a billion systems at work. So,
Yeah, exactly. Still excited. Really interested to see more at Gamescom, which we'll talk a little bit about later. Next story, Rod Ferguson, the legend over at Blizzard. He did a lot for Gears of War. What was it? Gears 4 he joined, right?
yes, I
Yes.
think.
Yeah.
Or yes.
Okay, so did a lot for Gears, did a lot for Blizzard, and he is leaving Blizzard now. He posted this on Twitter. After 5 years of driving the Diablo franchise forward with 4 big launches, it's time for me to step away from Blizzard/Microsoft, sword in hand, and see what's next. The teams are set up for success with an exciting slate of releases ahead. I'm incredibly proud of what we built together and looking forward to what comes next for Diablo and for me. I'm very curious to hear y'all's thoughts on this. I think, in my eyes, I look at this as he spent enough time there. He's ready to move on to something else. Now I say that, who knows? Maybe there is more to it, but in my eyes, I think it's as simple as that. But I think the dude's awesome. I think he's gonna find new work and he's gonna do some cool games. I really respect Rod. There is that angle of like, another big departure from Xbox. And Fusion, you were kind of bringing that up when this happened over at the Discord. I'm curious what you think.
Yeah, it's that thing. Most likely, at the end of the day, it is just a thing where he's been with, kind of in a way, with Xbox. Honestly, a pretty long time because he was there with Epic Games from like the very beginning with doing Gears of War stuff. So like he's been kind of in Gears for a long time, and then obviously he's been doing Diablo for a long time, and he had like a stint there with BioShock Infinite. Like, so I'm sure he does want to get out of the Diablo stuff, and maybe he just wants to leave Xbox as a whole and go work on his own stuff. But it is just like I say in the Discord, this is like the 20th head of a studio or an important part of a studio who's left, and it's like, I'm not gonna turn this into an Xbox rant, and I'm hoping that Bop has a more like stable reaction to this, where it's like when Xbox bought all these studios, when they bought all these publishers, when they did all these things, you bought them because of people like Rod. Like you bought them because
Yeah.
of these heads and these people that everyone knew that made these studios what they were. And when you look at all the studios now on their Xbox, a lot of them are not the same. Some of them aren't even close. It's like the last guy, I'm sure there's more, but the last guy I can think of is Todd Howard. And it's like outside of Todd Howard, you don't have really many big names under these Xbox studios that it was probably the sole reason or one of the reasons that you wanted to get them in the first place is because of these names. So it feels weird from that standpoint of saying, hey, you have all these studios, but to me now all these studios feel like shells of their former selves.
Real quick before Bob goes, I do have his video game credits. He has a very interesting history. He actually started at Microsoft. He worked on Microsoft Train Simulator, and then he kind of worked there till 2005. He actually did the Half-Life Counter-Strike port to Xbox back in the day, which is very interesting. Very weird port for that game. I recommend watching videos about it. But then from there, he went on to work at Epic, worked on Gears 1 through 3. And then also after that, this is a really interesting one, Fusion. He worked at Irrational Games. Helped to ship,
right?
Yeah, for Infinite, just for like the last 2 years. And then moved on to Coalition, Gears of War 4 and 5, and then moved to Blizzard after that for Diablo 2 Resurrected, and then Immortal and Diablo 4. So very interesting history for this guy. But Bob, I want to have your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I totally forgot he actually came back to Gears with the Coalition, but that he was in the Epic Games, like the original trilogy era. Yeah, it's funny because I was the other person talking to Fusion because I think Fusion had tagged me or he posted it, and I'm like, oh, I surely hope no one overreacts to this news, like kind of sarcastically. But I mean, yeah, I guess it depends on the context, right? Like, I think when I'm drawing a blank on his name, but the person who was at ZeniMax Online, the VP or like that major head, when he left right after the layoffs and right after that Project Blackbird getting canceled, that's definitely a F this. I don't like where this is going. I'm out of here. For Ferguson, he didn't it's not even like he shipped Diablo 4 and then left. Like he shipped Diablo 4, and then helped with the the roadmap of it because Diablo 4 launched 2 years ago. So there was clearly it was not okay, let's just get this out and then get out of here. Like he was there for the post content road or post launch roadmap. He was there for the first major expansion, and he definitely didn't just be like, oh God, I'm just buying my time before I can get out of here kind of thing. So to me, this feels more like a genuine, I think I've accomplished what I need to accomplish. This studio is going to be in good hands. I have most likely all of this money because when did he actually join Blizzard?
2020. I have his Wikipedia.
Yeah. I'm just wondering like how that maybe he didn't because I'm thinking like would he have like what kind of money he would have gotten from the Microsoft or the Blizzard acquisition or Microsoft acquiring Blizzard.
He would have been part of that, yeah, because they bought Blizzard in 2023.
Right. Well, and the deal first was announced in 2021, so yeah, I guess he would have been there beforehand. But my point being is like, I think that's the other thing with a lot of that talent that left because Fusion's still right. Losing that talent can be devastating, and the fact that that is one of the reasons that you acquire these studios or this publisher in the first place is for that talent. But at the same time, we've seen it plenty where, the director or like someone high up at the studio has been there for a long time, has overseen a lot of things, and has acquired all this money and is like, okay, I'm either going to go, found my own studio, make my own thing, like really have complete creative freedom over this. But obviously we don't know yet because there's other people like Pete Hines are like, you know what, I'm just going to retire. And And then there's others who are like, oh, I genuinely feel trapped here and like I can't believe how I'm being treated, F this, I'm gonna go start my own thing. So there's a wide spectrum of what this could be, but I feel like the context clues of him leaving 2 years after launch and like very obviously shepherding the success of Diablo 4 throughout that whole time makes it feel like he, maybe spent like the last year like training up the next, director of a Diablo game or the person who's going to oversee Diablo 4's continued expansions. And so this seems a lot more amicable. But at the same time, I think it's still kind of interesting if you're asking questions about Microsoft. It's like, well, they seemingly can't retain talent, that's for sure. And like, was this like, because there was always going to be some sort of talent retention issue, but is this more than they're expecting? How is this going to affect them? Like, that's stuff I just don't think we can know yet. But out of all of the ones that I've left, this one seems like one of the lesser concerning ones.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm curious to see where this goes. I'm very curious about Rod Ferguson. I think he's a very talented man. So I'm interested to see where he decides to head next. Maybe at this point, probably sets up his own studio, tries to do smaller games from here on, because he's been launching a lot of big stuff lately.
Where he should go. He actually shouldn't, but like, I can just imagine the headline of him going over the People Can Fly studio and helping them do whatever they're doing.
That'd be funny, actually. That's I forget, European studio. So I mean, you've seen Americans in European studios, so it's not that crazy, actually.
Put him over at Bungie. Let him fix Marathon.
Work his magic. Next story, BioWare wanted a Dragon Age Trilogy remaster, but EA wouldn't fund this. This is Grant Taylor over at Insider Gaming. Dragon Age, like Mass Effect, didn't have the best time when it came to when its most recent title was released in October 20. Okay, there's a lot of backstory here. I don't care. Here we go. When recently challenged on why Dragon Age doesn't have a trilogy remaster or a legendary edition, former BioWare executive producer of more than 20 years, Mark Dara, explained what's up. Mark Dara departed BioWare in 2022 after spending 24 years rising through the ranks of the company. In a recent interview with Mr. Matty Plays, shoutouts Matty, Dara got into a topic on the Dragon Age Trilogy remaster in the vein of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, explaining why it probably won't ever be a thing. Quote, I honestly think they should do, I don't think they will, but I think they should do a remaster of the first three. One of the things we pitched on one point pretty softly was to retroactively rebrand the first three games as if they were a trilogy and call it the Champions Trilogy. Maybe you do that, and as a first step, you take those three games and maybe Veilguard, you shine them up, you re-release them, probably remaster, not a remake. See what happens, then maybe go from there. EA has said this publicly. They're kind of against remasters. I don't really know why. It's strange for a publicly traded company to seem to be against free money, but they seem to be against it, so that's part of it. The other problem is that Dragon Age is harder than Mass Effect to do. One of the earliest things was let's do Frostbite tools, then let's find a mod house that seems talented and just uplift them and pay them to do a remake of Dragon Age Origins. There were a lot of pitches around it. Is there a way we can bring Dragon Age Origins forward? The studios ruined their financials within themselves. I think to some degree EA's stance was, sure, go ahead and do it, but do it with the money you already have. We couldn't do it with the money that we already have because we're doing all these other things. Lots of interesting insight. I went ahead and actually watched the full interview earlier this week. Very good interview. Highly recommend checking it out. But that was kind of the big headline that came out of that interview, was that they were pitching a Dragon Age Trilogy remaster and it just didn't go through. Makes sense. I remember an interview semi-recently, like last 2 years, where one of the Dragon Age people were like, oh, we can't do a Dragon Age Trilogy remaster because this and that. Like, that's not in our plans. And it seems like this is the case of like EA just didn't want to do it. They didn't want to put the resources to fund that. It's unfortunate because I think these games could really do with a next gen like version, just putting them out on modern platforms. And I think after Veilguard's supposed failure, it just seems like it's a franchise that I think EA wants to put on ice. So I don't know when they will do this, if they ever do, which sucks because I know people really like those first three Dragon Age games.
Yeah, I mean, especially that first game, at least from a PC perspective, because I remember I tried to play all the Dragon Age games last year. Newsflash, like quit them all like 5 hours in. And then just went up on. But one of the issues with the very first game was like you couldn't use a controller on PC. It's like that's
Yeah.
a thing a remaster could help with, obviously, because we know like the console version of the first Dragon Age looks way different than the PC version. But it's like those are things you could combine and bring together if you did the whole like remastered trilogy thing. And it's like they saw how good Mass Effect did. Like that Mass Effect trilogy sold a very good amount of copies. Like people love that thing. And I understand Dragon Age, there isn't that through line of like, hey, you're Shepard this entire time, where like there's not a whole you're following an exact same story over 3 games, but you're
Mhm.
still in the same world and it's close enough where I feel like they could put a trilogy out like that. And there would still be a lot of non-Dragon Age fans that didn't get to play Dragon Age to jump in on it. Just like the same thing with Mass Effect, where maybe kids were too young or it wasn't they were interested in Mass Effect at the time. They can have the opportunity to do the same thing with Dragon Age and probably make a lot of money. So it is weird to me that they are still kind of hesitant of saying, yeah, we're just not going to do it.
100%. Yeah, it's just like feels like an easy money thing. But what he said about like EA not really liking remasters, that makes sense. I mean, you look at the amount of games that EA has in their repertoire that they could easily remaster, and they're like, "No, we don't want to." And they've done remakes. They did Dead Space remake, but for some reason, remasters are just like a weirder one for them.
And even with the remakes, they immediately did Dead Space remake. That found success, and they were still like, we're not doing Dead Space remake 2. Like, you
There's
know what I
not
mean? We're
enough
not
money.
doing a second one. So it's like, it is weird when they said that in the interview and you reading it now, and then me going back and looking at all the EA stuff. It is weird how they are like the one big publisher that just doesn't do remakes or remasters. And it's like,
Yep.
that's an easy way for EA to make money, and maybe because of their entire sports side, they just don't think about that. They're like, we're not going to waste our money putting into remakes and remasters because our sports development makes money. But it's like they have a lot of iconic franchises, especially that like 360 PS3 era, that they could easily
Oh my
remake and
God, yeah.
remaster, and they're just not doing it, which is very interesting to hear that they just aren't into it. Which, if Jack was on this podcast, he'd be throwing a ball. He'd be loving it because he hates remakes and remasters. But like, it's weird that EA, the company that we all know for being super money hungry and like greedy, is the one that's like, we just aren't gonna do them.
Exactly. It's like, let us give you our our money.
Yeah.
Clearly, like you have this. Like, bro, bring in an Army of Two remastered collection. Fuck it.
I guess they are doing the Plants vs Zombies remake.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
also,
so
I
it's
mean,
like,
that they could have done that years ago. I don't know
yeah,
why
that's
they
true.
decided to do it now.
That's true.
I'm excited for it, but I'm also like, it's like you could do Peggle too, like the Peggle 1 remaster, not Peggle 2. You know, not
Yeah.
Bob's beloved Peggle 2, but you know what I mean.
The remaster Peggle 2, actually.
But yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating. Any thoughts on this, Bob?
I mean, you guys pretty much said it all. I just think it's very funny that in my head, EA, like Dragon Age is just like the oldest child who just gets shit on at every opportunity by mom and dad. Like they just hate this kid. And it's like, yeah, I don't know how they can justify doing the Mass Effect trilogy and like not even like contemplate doing the Dragon Age trilogy remaster. I just think that's so funny.
Just so weird considering like Dragon Age Inquisition is BioWare's best-selling game.
It won Game of the Year.
Yeah, like it was a thing. I don't know why they. And now famously we know that Veilguard was originally a live service. That's how they fucked it up. But it's just like I don't know. EA is one of those companies that just can't let a good thing coming. Like they can't let a good thing stay as a good thing, which frustrates me.
And it's weird because they had, like you brought up Veilguard, that was the perfect opportunity for you to put a trilogy out before Veilguard so people could get interested in Veilguard more. When you put something out, like that's the thing, I'm like, sure, we don't know Mass Effect 4 is ever coming and like all of that's just a whole thing in itself, but like there's going to be a lot more Mass Effect 4 fans on day one because of the Mass Effect trilogy than there ever was. You know what I mean? Like if this trilogy didn't exist. Dragon Age Veilguard could have got a couple thousand, how many more players if there was a trilogy of the old Dragon Age games that they got to experience before Veilguard dropped.
And I think just trust in BioWare is at a really bad low point right now. You know, I know a lot of people liked Veilguard, but at the end of the day, I think public opinion of that game is really rough, and it didn't seem to sell well. And then, you know, the last game was Anthem, and then the last game was Mass Effect Andromeda. And it's like, BioWare is in a really precarious position. I wonder if they're able to stay around. I hope they do. I don't want anyone to close, but I just feel like if you're EA, I'm surprised they haven't cut that cord yet.
They must
Unfortunate.
Like, Mass Effect 4 must look great behind closed doors.
Yeah,
or, it's
like
or it's a live service game that they're gonna put out. So
Andrew, is it Andrew Wilson? He's just like watching us, like, oh man, we can make so much money off this with live service elements. It's like the devil on his shoulder. He wants to do it so badly. Let's get into our last story. This is just a quick shout out, if anything. Nexon unveils Wuchi the Wayfarer, a single player Korean fantasy action adventure game. Nexon just released season 3 for its live service multiplayer shooter, The First Descendant. Oh my god, I forgot about that game. The company has unveiled a brand new game dubbed Wuchi the Wayfarer. Nexon describes this game as a new high-end PC and console action adventure game set in traditional Korean culture and mythology. The Korean blockbuster game will depict the adventures of Dosa Jon-ushi of the Way of the Way fame, or Mage of the Way fame, and will release on PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam when it's ready to launch. It's being developed in Unreal Engine 5. The one thing that makes me upset reading it, but hey, everything else, I watched the trailer. Game looks really cool. It's very much a story trailer just to kind of set the mood of the game, but I recommend checking it out. I feel like I didn't see enough people talk about this. It's like, I think it's just another like China, Korea, like that region of the world, East Asia, is just kind of kicking ass in the game development space, and I'm excited to see more kind of AAA games coming out of there that aren't just like mobile slop.
this game did look cool, and I think you need more enthusiasm for Unreal Engine 5.
I will never have enthusiasm for Unreal Engine 5. Every game it's in ruins it with like it stutters, and it's also
For sure, you could probably see the stutters in this pre-rendered trailer.
Exactly.
This is I obviously the trailer didn't give us a lot. It's just like a tone setter for a trailer, but like it is that whole thing of like Wukong found super success, and now there's a lot of games coming out with that style of budget over there in the East, and it's like everyone, like they all get announced, they all almost have a similar name, or like similar, they look the exact same, but like I'm still excited for each one. I don't know if it was because Wukong broke the seal where I'm like, okay, they can at least be good 7 out of 10 games, or like I don't know if it's just because they're new games in general, but like I saw this and I was immediately like, oh, it's another one of these. I'm excited.
Yeah, 100%. I'm excited to see more about this game. I think when we there's that other game, Blood Message, which also looks awesome. It's like just that region is doing a lot of good work on games, and I'm very excited to see more.
And that release had like, wasn't that like the 8-minute trailer that had like gameplay and everything? That was a like gigantic.
No, that was a
trailer,
different one. Yeah, Blood Message was just a story trailer. I don't which one. Maybe you were thinking of Crimson Desert.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Blood Message, but like it was a story trailer, but it had actual gameplay beats, and it was like 8 minutes long. It was like a super long.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
sorry.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, because it was like they said they wanted it to be like Uncharted or something.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It's just the one thing though. As much as I love these games, it's also like they kind of blend in my mind.
Yes, that is an issue. They all kind of blend in. I agree.
That's it for the news. Pretty, as I said, very very slow news week. We did get one game review this week. A big, probably arguably the biggest game release of the year. I don't know if you guys know this. It's in the doc actually. One of my
Dragon Drive.
Yeah, Dragon Drive, baby. Okay, first and foremost, Kyle Bosman pointed this out. It actually pissed me off. It's called Drag X Drive, but the X is pronounced and. That's the only time I've ever seen X pronounced as and. I don't know why they didn't do that. Like, did they do it to do edgy? I don't know. But Drag X Drive, Drag and Drive, God, already forgetting. Came out. I did play the playtest for like an hour. And here's what I'll say. It is an objectively bad video game. Like, it's not good. It's disgusting. Like, it looks horrible. The controls are so unintuitive. They make no sense. It feels like a game that was made as a gimmick. I had fun. I can at least say that. Like, I did enjoy myself for what it was. I say all this, though. It seems like the critics disagree. Or at the very least, they kind of let... this is actually around what I would rate it. A lot of critics are sitting at a 61. IGN gave it a 6 out of 10. GameSpot a 5 out of 10. Nintendo Life a 7 out of 10. Lots of 6s, some 5s. Right now, it seems like people are like, yeah, this is kind of a miss. But also, I don't think anyone really had any expectations for this. It's a $20 eShop title. And here's the thing. You know it's bad if Nintendo's giving a discount. If they're giving a discount, it's like, oh, this thing must suck. Because the other game that they released for like $30 on the eShop was Everybody Want to Switch. And we know how bad that was. I did the credits revealed only like 18 people worked on this game. This seemed to be a not a student project, but just like a side project. At the end of the day, it's like, why even release it? Or at the very least, if you're gonna release it, do it at launch. So it's like, well, it's something to play at launch. It just feels weird that this took 2 extra months.
Hey, it's also the first 1 out of 10 game on Kinda Funny.
Yes.
No, like Mike over there gave it a 1 out of 10, and he has some real
was
thoughts
like-
on it.
I was like, Mike, you're being too mean. And then when he said it's like, I literally never had fun, I'm like, yeah, like I guess that would be a 1 out of 10 game. Yeah,
It's
I don't know.
so my input is like, again, as someone who's not considered a Nintendo fan, it's like I've always at least been able to look at Nintendo with games like this usually and be like, okay, that looks like a Nintendo game. I look at Dragon Drive,
It really doesn't.
anyone could have made this. You know what I mean? This could have been a 10-cent game. You know what I mean? Like
It looks like
I
a
see
Ubisoft game.
Yeah, I see nothing at all from Nintendo where I'm like, at the very least, on Nintendo's bad games, they usually have like the Nintendo Shine and like it's still like colorful and good looking stuff. It's like this has none of that. It's just like a straight up just terrible video game from an outside perspective.
The worst Nintendo games of all time still look good. Like Paper Mario Sticker Star is an awful video game. It looks great. Same with the Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, Chibi Robo Ziplash. Like some game, Nintendo has made some real stinkers in the past, but at least they look good. Drag X Drive looks like nothing.
And it's like, I think it's that same Kyle Bosman video, and he's talking about like, again, this isn't I'm a hate on the Switch 2 rant, but it's the whole thing of like, they had Mario Kart World that people really liked, and then they had, gosh, that stupid little
Welcome Tour, baby.
Welcome Tour, that's like a 50,
I'll
and then they
never
had
forget-
Donkey Kong, and now they have Dragon Drive. It's like the most inconsistent launch window I've ever seen so far.
Kirby is getting that DLC later this month. You know, God bless. But after that, we have no idea what the release dates are outside of Pokemon. Which apparently Kirby and Metroid should be this year. So I'm like, okay, Nintendo, can we know? I'd like a direct, please. That's all I want.
So sorry to cut you off, Bob. You were about to say something.
It's funny because you kind of glanced on what I was going to mention.
Mm.
Did you guys know that Welcome Tour and Drag X Drive had the same exact Open Critic score right now at a 61?
I did not
Who
know
the
that.
who? I want to know who rated Drag X or not Drag X Drive. Welcome Tour anything above a. Like that game does not deserve anything above a 4. I'm sorry.
Well, Nintendo Life gave it an 8 out of 10.
Oh yeah, I trust Nintendo Life.
Also, I thought it
I
was
wonder what
interesting,
pure Xbox thinks of Redfall. Let's.
and it made me think like, what did ARMS get back in the day? ARMS got a 78, so it definitely
ARMS,
like.
I'm tired of people comparing this game to ARMS. ARMS looks good. ARMS.
No,
is
I know, and
fun.
I'm not.
Yeah, no, I
the
know
only
you're not.
reason-
I'm just saying.
I think it's hard not to make the comparison because it's an early launch game that's
Of
very
course.
experimental using like the Switch 2 or like something unique about the Switch. But yeah, I definitely I said that more to be like, yeah, put some respect on ARMS. Like it
Yeah,
was
I mean,
not
that was-
as bad.
This is so. What's interesting? This was done by one of the leads of Mario Kart Wii for Drag X Drive.
Yeah.
ARMS was done by the Mario Kart team, so there's like a little bit of like shared DNA there. I don't know what there's just it felt like there was like, okay, we thought of a gimmick, but we don't want to put the development resources to make this a full game. Let's just kind of get a small team together and make like a downloadable eShop game. Which again, I feel like would be less insulting if it was at launch.
Yeah. And so it's funny you mentioned the credits. I did see, I mean, Grant, this is a Reddit post, so take it with a grain of salt. But I thought it was interesting. Someone like looked at the credits and like did some research into it. Excluding localization and special things, there are only 20 people involved in developing this game, which is smaller than some NES and SNES teams back in the day. And one of Nintendo's smallest teams ever, which makes sense why it would come in so low at $20.
Yeah, that's interesting because NES and SNES teams were very small. I mean, like famously, like the first Super Mario Brothers was like 10 people, like,
Right.
if even.
And then yeah, you kind of touched on it. Some of the interesting people in the credits. Hisashi Nogami was the producer on this game, and he's one of the
Yeah.
creators of Animal Crossing and director of the first 2 Animal Crossing games.
He's a big
creators
name over there.
Splatoon, and then he was promoted to EPD 5, where he was a manager of the group to be deputy general manager of Nintendo EPD as a whole. So that's interesting. I think this might be who you're talking about. Yoshinori Konishi, director
Yeah,
of the
that's
game, was a programmer on all Mario Kart games since the Wii until Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This is his first directed
Oh,
game.
okay. So he was a programmer. Okay, I thought it was lead of Mario Kart. My bad.
Very good. And then Takahisa Ikejiro, something like that. The art director and
Takahashi Ikajuno.
the art director and character designer was one of the artists in Splatoon 2 and 3, responsible for character design in Salmon Run with creations such as the Flyfish and the Stinger. He also worked on Octo expansion with work in player and weapon design. And so basically one of the reasons why that person posted that because he thought it was a EPD4 project because of the experimentalness and
Yeah,
kind of just the
EPD4.
characteristics of the
Very weird.
department. But it sounds like it, like you said, Wolf, it just was a culmination of a bunch of different people from like separate EPD groups that just kind of almost like a jam sesh. Just was like, you know what,
Yeah,
we have an
exactly.
idea, let's just throw it together and see what happens.
And I think that's one thing I want to shout out is at the very least when it comes to this game because there's not a lot to shout out, but the fact that it's like, hey, this guy's been programming Mario Kart games for such a long time. Like he is a long-standing Nintendo employee. Let's give him a chance to direct a game, and maybe like this, I don't think it does well, but like maybe it does something enough for Nintendo to go like, okay, well you clearly know how to team and do stuff. Let's promote you within the company. Let's give you more roles and give you higher like, okay, now you're a producer. Now you're gonna direct a bigger game in the future, something like that. And I think that's interesting. But it's the most interesting thing about this fucking game.
I will say, I was just doing random research about. I was looking at the Open Critic. It's funny to see in the last 90 days, Nintendo has made the top-rated video game with Donkey Kong and two of the worst-rated video games with Dragon Drive and Welcome Tour. It's like the scale of going
It's
the
so funny.
absolute top to like be in the bottom 10 of scores with just these three games.
It's like having a football team where you have the best quarterback in the world, and then like the linebacker is some dude from college that nobody knows.
I like Bob's team.
Is that a good sports reference, guys? I worked really hard on that one.
I didn't like the Shaw Fusion just
All right, well that's everything. Real quick, just very quick Gamescom predictions. I feel like I hate predicting for opening night live because like nothing fucking happens, but we do them real fast. Jeff Keighley bring this up. Games confirmed for Gamescom opening night live on a Tuesday. Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Resident Evil Requiem, Ghost of Yotei, Ninja Gaiden 4, Outer Worlds 2, Silent Hill F, World of Warcraft Midnight, and then more. Also Fallout Season 2 and a Claire Obscure music performance. And also I saw that Black Myth Wukong is having a trailer at opening night live. I doubt that's just for the Xbox port, so they probably do. Any of those like kind of stand out to you guys of like, oh man, like I'm gonna like really be excited to see that. Probably for me, Fallout Season 2. I want to see what that looks like. Very excited to see the Lucky 38. And of course, Resident Evil Requiem. I hope this is the trailer that reveals Leon. But otherwise, it's like I don't really have any other predictions for Gamescom.
Is that the first Fallout trailer for Season 2 that's coming? Or has there been a trailer for that?
I haven't
There
seen
was like
anything.
there was a short teaser earlier this year, but this is the first like full trailer.
I would say me personally, it's weird because specifically with these games, I'm the Call of Duty nerd, so I'm probably gonna say Call of Duty just because we haven't seen gameplay of it yet. So like, if this is something where we're gonna get gameplay, which I assume we're gonna get something, at least campaign gameplay or something, I'm always interested in what the next Call of Duty actually looks like because you never know, especially with back-to-back Treyarch games, this could look very bad. So it's like I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
But from a broader point, it's weird how on paper this is the best opening night live that Jeff has come out and like said these games are showing up. I feel like so I don't know if that's for the worst or for the better, but it's like at least on paper right now with the games he's shown us, it's like okay, there's something interesting with the show here. Where in the past it was like opening night lives were so bad and like so boring.
Yeah.
And I'm like, either this show is going to be really, really bad, and you're giving us the top 7 games that are going to be here, which is a good chance that is how it works out, or it's like the game might have some actually cool surprises, but here are the games to get you in off the start.
Yeah, I just really hate when I don't like when Jeff does this. Like, I don't need to know what's coming. Like, you're gonna have it. It's next Tuesday. Like, I can hold out. I'm never a big fan of when he does that, but otherwise, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I think I'm with you that these do look the most interesting. But it's also like, okay, are these the only real games of consequence? And then the other one's like, here's another extraction shooter. And it's like, okay,
Yeah. And there's like 7 horror games, so like Bop is super excited.
well.
We're excited. I mean, I don't know. I kind of have never really. I mean, like you said, Wolf opening night live is in Gamescom in general. It's just like it's not built to be like a super announcement show or like something to really excite you, but more of like a genuine like here are some updates on things. That being said, Fallout Season 2 trailer, I definitely am excited for. I don't know what they could possibly show more of the Outer Worlds 2. We are definitely reaching Deathloop level
Yeah.
exposure there. That's starting to piss me off. Kind of honestly the same with Yote, where it's like I don't know how much more we really do have to see of this game. But
Yote is a game that I feel like I've seen so much and also so little of.
right,
I know
like you
nothing
see
and
so much, but you
everything.
know nothing. Yeah, exactly. I feel the exact same way. But honestly, I'm hyped for a Claire Obscure live performance. Like, hey, ready those instruments up for the Game Awards, baby. Let's see what we're working with.
Flute guy.
But what's up?
A flute guy. He's gonna show up.
Oh, yeah, hell
Is this
yeah.
the for? I guess.
Oh no, I don't know if he is. I hope he
No,
is.
well now if he doesn't, hey,
I
you
know, I'm
pissed me
sorry.
off.
I'm
Is this
sorry.
the first time Opening Night Live has had something like this? I don't remember.
think
I
so,
could be
yeah.
wrong, but I could not remember Opening Night Live ever having like a gaming musical performance. Like,
Nothing
ever.
else happens at Gamescom, so I think so, yeah.
Like, or maybe they had some. I swear there was something weird last year because I remember the Indiana Jones being announced, and then like I swear there was someone singing, but I don't know.
They
Yeah.
just had like a weird stage like performance thingy. Like or not performance, but like the stage was like moving around and like doing stuff.
Does it feel? I don't know.
There
It
was
just feels very weird to me that I'm like Jeff. This 100% could have been at TGA, like a Claire Obscure like type thing. I don't know if it's because okay, we're already over in Europe, like then we'll figure it out. I don't know. It's just a
like
whole
a
thing of
2-hour
like,
drive for them.
like Claire Obscure could 100% have this exact type of musical thing at the Game Awards, and I would have expected it. So it's weird that Gamescom's getting it.
Yeah, I assume they'll probably do. Maybe they'll double up on it, or they save Donkey Kong Bonanza for the big music performance. Who knows? It is that funny thing. I always hear it's like Gamescom's actually the biggest gaming event in the world in terms of attendance, and it's like, why doesn't it ever feel like it? Because nothing fucking Gamescom. Like I always think it's like the biggest gaming event because it's like the biggest one in Europe, and most Europeans have nothing else better to do. So they're like, okay, I guess I'll drive over to Gamescom, and everything's like 2 hours away over there. So that's always my assumption, but I don't know.
I mean,
It's just
well, if that's like saying Pirates of the Caribbean or Transformers is one of the highest grossing movies of all time, just because people show up doesn't mean it's like the best thing.
okay. But like I'm saying though, Pirates of the Caribbean is way better than Gamescom, first and foremost.
Well,
but also,
the older ones, not the newer ones.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But I think I would rather watch at World's End over Gamescom. Like genuinely.
Okay, interesting.
But to get back into it, it's just like I think for me, I just feel like it's always like, oh, Gamescom's the biggest gaming event. Gamescom's the biggest gaming event. It just never feels like that, and I wonder if it's the case of specifically Opening Night Live, but like just Opening Night Live in general. I don't even blame just Keighley for it, but it feels like Gamescom. Remember those like Gamescom awards they did, and it's like it feels like the company that runs Gamescom is also very. I guess it's like the expectation of Gamescom is an event for like playing the games and being on the show, or more so than else, and I just kind of have to accept that.
You know what's gonna change the narrative this year?
What's up?
And that stupid little Silk song.
Oh my God.
So like Jeff Keighley event.
Purposely didn't say it. Purposely didn't say it. I'm tired of predicting that game. I can't do it anymore.
I'm not predicting it, but it's happening.
That's a prediction.
I don't know. It's just this one. Look, I've been on record for like the last 7 shows saying it's not showing up. There's just no way there can be a damn demo, a new demo at the show, and there not be a trailer and a release date. There's no way. I mean,
this is the worst marketed game of all time.
There's
So
no way.
they will find a way.
I really
you're
hope
quite
we
right.
can only play Silk Song at Gamescom on the Ally. Like, that's the only way they let you play
Don't
it.
say
is
that.
play it
Don't
on-
say
or you
that.
have to cloud stream it or something. It's like
I
super
hate that you said
laggy.
that because that seems realistic. Like Xbox is gonna 100%
It's-
announce the Ally release date here, and they're gonna be like, and play Silk Song on it on the floor. It's like, oh my gosh.
It's at the Nintendo booth though. I'm pretty sure. So
That
I
is
think
true. It is
we'll
also
get
on
there.
the Nintendo. So
Okay,
maybe what if it's handhelds only? You can only play on
Right.
the Switch or the ROG Ally.
Yeah, we don't have any Pro controllers. Sorry.
But there's like no way. I mean, there is 100% a way. This is what Team
They'll
Cherry
find a
does. But
way.
like, at the very least, we should like get demo gameplay, right? Like, they're not gonna. This can't be like private demo that no one
That'd
unless
be
you're at Gamescom
crazy.
sees. Like,
Private demo, and they still say 2025. Like fuck you guys. You're
like
the worst.
there's no way we are getting out of next week without at least Silksong gameplay for the first time in 5 years, and it's like that's pretty exciting to me.
Mhm.
Have
We'll
you
see.
noticed the slow unraveling of Fusion in just those 2 minutes alone?
It's
that was
so
pretty
funny.
entertaining.
God bless you, Fusion. You have more faith than I just stopped having faith, and it feels a lot better for that. Well, boys, that's Gamescom. Now I have 2 segments for you guys, for like our little like games, because there's some interesting things. Now I have to ask a question first for both of you separately. Fusion, what is the best multiplayer game of all time? What is a multiplayer game that you know front to back you love it more than anything? What's your all time?
Is it cheating to say Minecraft?
No, for this game, I actually need you to say something else because I had an expectation.
I mean,
Not
that
cheating,
is,
but also I can't let you choose that.
Okay. Well, you're gonna want me to say one, but I'm not. I'm gonna say Black Ops 2.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Okay.
So, what is it about Black Ops 2 that you love so much?
Like, off point blank period, this has the best multiplayer maps of any multiplayer game ever.
Okay, Bob. What is the best multiplayer game of all time, excluding Minecraft?
I like how there's no wrong answers, but there are actually wrong answers.
Excluding
No,
the
like,
one that
literally,
is the right answer.
I was pretty certain Fusion would say Black Ops 2 when he said Minecraft. I'm like, oh no, wait, don't choose that.
I mean, for me, it's probably got to be Modern Warfare 2. That one will just always stick with me.
God damn, I predicted you wrong. Okay, hang on.
We're gonna predict Halo 3.
What'd you have me as?
I thought you were Halo 3. I had it set up for Halo 3.
Honestly,
Modern Warfare 2 is better.
I did not get into. I didn't have Xbox Live when Halo 3 was. So like I played it split screen with friends, but I really didn't get into Halo multiplayer until Reach. And Reach would probably be my number 2, but Modern Warfare 2 was like the seminal moment for me.
I thought you were gonna say League of Legends or something crazy. Counter Strike.
Okay, well, you two got your choices. Fusion, I have a Sporkle quiz here.
Oh my god!
What?
And I want to see if you mentioned it. Do you know the maps of Call of Duty Black Ops 2? Could you name them all?
All of
And
them.
also, no cheating.
No,
Gentlemen rules.
All of them, no, but I can name a good amount.
Okay, and then I have the Modern Warfare 2 maps for
That's insane.
Bob.
Okay.
No, I will
wow.
say Bob has it a bit easier because there's less.
And I get all of those maps just got remastered a year ago.
I'm still gonna get half of
Really?
them wrong. Don't you worry.
Okay. So Fusion, I have the Black Ops 2 maps for you. This is including the DLC.
Well, okay.
This quiz does have the map packs. So if you're like, oh, what map packs am I remaining? I'll tell you. So, you ready?
Yeah, I guess. There's no way I'm getting the DLC maps, honestly. The main maps: Raid, Standoff, Slums.
No, wait. Hang on. I started. Okay. So so Raid, Standoff,
Slums,
Slums,
Express,
Yemen,
Aftermath.
Wait.
I think
that's weird. Yemen isn't.
Yemen not on there?
Okay, the person has Yemen spelled wrong.
Oh, so Yemen's on that game.
Yeah, Yemen's
Hijacked, Nuketown.
Hijacked, Nuketown. Which Nuketown?
2025.
2025.
Firing range? Did they have a firing range?
Firing range is not here. That's Black Ops 1.
I know, but I thought they had a DLC map pack for it.
I don't think it includes old maps remastered.
gosh, how many am I at? 6, 7? 6,
7.
7. Oh. Now I'm kind of lost. These are the ones I knew by heart, and they're all the competitive maps. So,
That's so funny. Already? God damn.
all of it. Dude, it's been a decade since I played that game.
Well, I don't know. Like you said, you played it. Like that's the one you played the most.
I did. Damn, bro. I'm like totally at a loss. I mean, there's Grind and
Grind.
Blitz, or DLC maps,
Blitz.
or Rush. It might be Rush.
Not Blitz. Rush. Yes, Rush
Yeah,
is one.
okay.
As the Revolution map pack and the Vengeance map pack,
Actually, no.
respectively.
That's the skate park and the paintball map. Dude, I should be able to get more of the basic maps.
There's one major one that I'm surprised you didn't get.
Yeah, I'm probably missing it. I said Express, right? Yeah.
It's in alphabetical order, if that might help you.
Doesn't.
So you're missing one between S and Y.
It doesn't help me at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, how much time's on this thing?
I'm gonna give you 6 minutes because I don't want to spend too much time on this.
I mean, I'm honestly like, oh. I don't know
So
if
you
I
have
got anything
about
else off the
4
dome.
minutes left.
I don't know if the dome. I think I might need some hints. I don't know if I got anything else off the dome.
Well, okay. So you're missing a bunch of standard, like just like the normal.
I know.
15
I'm missing a lot
maps.
of standards. I was saying I only got half of them.
Okay, alphabetically, it's you have about 1, 2, 3, 4 before the letter E.
That did a lot for me. Think
about the campaign. Can you think like maybe campaign will jog your memory?
I don't think so. Bob, can I phone a friend?
Yeah,
I
Bob,
stopped playing after Black Ops 1, so I'm
Oh
not
my
any help.
And did they remaster Jungle? Is Jungle on there?
Jungle is not here. Again, I don't think it includes remastered.
I can't believe I even got Aftermath.
Oh, you said Aftermath. Let me put that for you.
Oh, yeah.
I
Is
forgot.
that
My
on
bad.
there?
Yeah, you got Aftermath.
Okay.
So you're still missing 3 before A and E. Or between A and E, my bad.
Dude, Carrier?
Carrier. Yep, okay.
I'm literally about to close my eyes and imagine myself playing that game.
Loaded up the maps and
the
shit.
DLC maps are throwing me off because they added so many, and I would not know the name about.
There's so
90%
many.
of them.
I was actually shocked because I only ever played the standard maps. I'm like, damn, they added they added 4 Revolution, 4 in Uprising, and like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 in Vengeance, and then 4 in Apocalypse.
Should have lied and said Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, really? Do you know the maps in Advanced Warfare?
I might just because the game's newer. Dude,
You have 1 in Revolution and 1 in Vengeance. You don't have anything for Uprising.
Magna or Lava or something.
Magna.
Definitely okay. That was a
that
DLC
one I
map.
remember. Yeah.
Oh, so that's the Wow.
I could probably honestly thinking about it, I could probably do this for Modern Warfare 1.
I said slums. There's a map that's like has a bunch of buildings. That doesn't help me at all, but like I remember it.
There's a lot of buildings.
Cove's a DLC map.
Code?
Cove, I think. That's either
Cove.
Black Ops. That's either Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 2.
That's Vengeance.
Okay.
That's yeah. So I'll give you bonus points if you could at least get one Apocalypse map pack because that's the only like map pack that you haven't gotten one yet.
No idea. I don't know the map pack like that. I said raid. Wait, there's Fire Range is in that game. I'm telling you.
I
don't think it was
put
called
firing
range though. I don't know.
Shooting area. You have a minute left.
I got Yemen.
I can't get over how this guy spelled Yemen Yeman.
Oh,
Fucking
wow.
racist.
Plaza.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Plaza.
I don't
There
know
you
if that's
go.
in there. I think
Yeah,
I
you
think
got
that's
it.
really
That was a
my
standard
brain. Dude, Fire Range is in that game. I just don't think it's called Fire Range. I don't know what else it was called. I played Fire Range.
I'm pretty sure it didn't. It doesn't have the name or like the remastered.
Like there's no.
Can you at least get one more for what's it called? 15 because you're at 14. You have 30 seconds left.
I think Fire Range should count.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's not included.
I don't think it's called Fire. It's not called Fire Range, but I'm like it wasn't like it was a weird. It was a movie set. Come on, I remember this now.
I'm on the Black Ops 2 Reddit, or not Reddit, wiki. Yeah,
It was
yeah.
a movie set, dude. It was like
I
firing
know
range,
what
but it was
map you're
in a movie
talking
set.
about. Yeah, there's no firing range in Black Ops 2.
Oh, Takeoff?
Takeoff. That might be it. Hang on, let me make sure. Yep, there you go. That's an Apocalypse map pack. So you're at 15, and you're out of time.
Wait, what's the one with the turbines?
So you're out of time. Here's what you missed. You just said
Don't
it.
tell me there's a map
Confusion.
called Turbine. There's no way that's
It's
what it's
literally
called.
called
That's what I was trying to
Turbine.
think of my whole time. There's no way.
Turbine. It's called Turbine. And you also missed Cargo, Drone, Meltdown, Overflow. And then for the map packs, you missed Hydro, Downhill, Mirage, which, by the way, this guy completely misspelled Mirage.
Oh, Mirage is the sand map. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Encore, Vertigo, Studio. Is that the one?
Studio? That's firing range. Yes.
Yeah, but it's not called firing range. It's called Studio.
I know it's not. I don't know why they call it something different, but that is firing range.
Detour, Uplink, Frost, Pod, and Dig.
Okay. Oh, Dig was
Okay.
terrible. Dig was a terrible map.
You did fine. 15 out of 31. Now, Bob, you have
Ew.
26 maps.
I'm gonna do so much worse for you. Don't
Oh.
you fucking worry.
We'll see.
How
Bob,
many, real quick, do you know how many I got of the original maps?
of the original maps, you got
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 9 of the original.
Out of what?
If you
15?
count, Nuketown was a separate DLC, so
Okay.
would be 10. Yeah, out of 15 for the original maps.
That's not
So you did
terrible.
fine with that, yeah. I don't think anyone thinks about Drone, so.
Yeah, I would have never got that. And the weird thing is, like, Black Ops 2 had a lot of one-namers. Like, Drone, like, they had so many just maps with one name.
All right. Are you ready, Bob? It's going to include DLC as well.
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. 5 minutes on the clock.
Okay, Rust, obviously.
Rust, 1v1.
Wasteland,
Wasteland,
Terminal,
Terminal,
Favela, right?
Favela, yep.
Skid Row,
Skid Row,
High Rise.
High Rise,
Okay. Underpass.
Underpass. Oh god, I hate Underpass.
So much easier, by the way.
Overgrowth. Overgrown.
No,
yeah,
that was-
you know, you
was
should have
COD
chosen a
4.
better game. Overgrown. No, Overgrown's here. It's part of the
Really?
map pack. It was a DLC.
So DLC, okay.
Yeah, that okay. So that's all the ones I can remember off the top of my head. Here's the funny thing. Because I started writing them down. There's this snow map with the derailed train that's like super long, and I
Oh, I know
cannot
exactly
for the
what you're
life
talking
of me
about.
think of what that name is. There's the
What-
one.
Wait, think really hard, Bob. With COD maps, it
derail,
really is.
Derail.
Yeah, it really is just what you're thinking.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Turbine.
That's smart. That's smart. Okay, so then the next one is I remember playing it Search and Destroy. It's also kind of snowy, but there was like the submarine on the one side, and then you had like the main buildings in the middle.
Oh yeah, in the campaign.
Yeah, I just can't think. I mean, it's not called Submarine. Or like maybe.
I mean, you want me to try that? You want to go for
Yeah,
it? Just a
sure.
game?
Like let's start shooting from the hip here.
Yeah, no.
like-
That's
or
not
like
it.
port? I don't think it's port.
Nope,
Good
not
guess,
port.
though.
Okay, so I don't know. We'll draw on a
3
blank there.
minutes left.
There was the Noob Tube map with the giant plane in the middle with the hill.
Oh my god.
But I can't think of
Half of
like.
that game.
You're gonna feel very stupid.
Is it just called airplane hangar?
It's called
No.
Noob Tube, bro.
It's not. No, it's not called Hangar.
It's not plane. Bunker.
I don't want to give you a hint, but
Okay.
wait,
All right.
wait. What'd you just say?
Bunker.
Bunker. No.
I think that's it. All right. And then there's the mining one where like I don't know what it's called, but it's like all those white boxes you could actually mantle on top of, and then it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
and then there was like the little like mining rig you could walk up that ramp in the corner. But I genuinely
Just-
like
Just
I don't
think of words that would you would call mine. Like it really is just that easy when it comes to
I know
You're
like
getting more hints over here. I got guess A through E.
Okay, I gave you backpack names, buddy.
yeah, I just don't know. And then there's the one with the two bridges, and then it would like under the ravine, and then like on the one side it was like very overgrown, which is what made me think of Overgrown, was a completely different map. God,
Maybe it's just called Bridges.
You got 2 more minutes.
yeah, Bridges. Fuck it, let's go Bridges.
Bridges? Okay. Nope.
Okay. There's also the theme park one, but I'm not as familiar with the map packs.
Because they sucked for MW2.
Yeah,
They're
they
so
kind of
bad
did.
at that.
Crash? Wasn't Crash remade?
Rash. Yep, you got that.
Okay.
Oh, they didn't call that one a different one, huh? Studio.
Yeah, this is where it's like I'm at the end of my rope now. Like I got
Listen, I will give you one hint.
Okay.
Think of countries.
Name every
think of a
country in the
country.
world.
Afghan, right?
There you go. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry,
right.
my Arab mind would not allow me to let you pass.
That's the plain one, by the way.
That makes that makes sense.
There's a couple of MW1 maps you're missing though.
Yeah, but I also didn't play MW1 much, so that didn't.
You didn't play MW1?
I would do really good at COD. COD 4 is my second favorite COD.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again,
I
honestly didn't get into COD until World at War. And even then, it's like very iffy, and then it was Modern Warfare 2. Hard. There's also like another. There's a real rainy map where there's a lot of indoors navigation. I think it was on the map pack, but I can't think of it off.
30
Like, I don't even have I genuinely don't have guesses for anything else. Like.
Okay, last 20 seconds. The guy put hints. Large mansion grounds.
Oh, estate. Fuck. Wow, I totally fucking spaced that one. Okay.
Cityscape with tanks.
Oh, I got nothing there.
Cityscape with a marketplace and a bus. These hints are so funny. Okay, you're out of time.
Okay.
All right, so what you missed. Okay, this was driving me crazy because you kept saying it's like a mine. Oh, it's like a mine. Quarry.
It is Quarry. God damn it.
And also, you were so close with this one. It's not submarine, it's sub base.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense, but that wasn't even on the radar.
Did he say invasion or Karachi?
Yeah, invasion and Karachi. You missed those.
Oh, I missed the. Oh, Karachi. Yeah.
Yeah. And then rundown, scrapyard,
Scrapyard. Fuck yeah.
Bailout, storm, salvage, carnival was the one you were thinking of.
Yeah.
Trailer park, fuel, strike, and vacant.
Oh, vacant too.
Vacant.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't hate that, but yeah, there were only a couple that I really should have known based off the name.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like I would only do good at the COD because, like, I know those maps really well.
Honestly, I really wish I would have just said college football 25, and then I have to name 137 Division I colleges because I think I could probably get close.
Would you have done better with Halo 3 maps, Bob?
No. Oh my god. And even Reach, like I would have done so much worse. Like I just don't remember that. Like for some reason, like the COD maps I remember distinctly, but I could not tell you more than like 3 Halo maps.
Should have let me name the Minecraft biomes. I would have.
Yeah. Okay. Forest, jungle. Like, yeah. No. I wanted a challenge.
I'm gonna do the Division I Sporkle after this and see how many I can get in like 10 minutes.
Oh man, that's funny. I will say, Fusion, you beat him just by averages. But like again, I was disappointed by both of y'all's performance. I was like, oh yeah, Bob knows Halo. Like, okay, he would probably kick ass on Halo. Guess not.
I would do better, honestly. Well, actually, I don't know. I wonder if I would do better on weapons. Like
yeah,
if I didn't name all the weapons, that would be another interesting one.
I had that thought, yeah. Okay, for my second segment for you guys, this is something I did with Jack last week. I don't know if you checked it out at all. We did publisher review. So effectively, we kind of spin a wheel. I reduced the number of publishers, but we spin a wheel of about 15 or so publishers in the gaming industry, and we review them. We look back at their 2024 of. We look at their current year for 2025. We look at their upcoming slate. And we look back at their franchises, see what they're doing with. Look at this current moment, how do we feel about this publisher out of 10? Make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Who did you do last week?
We did Ubisoft.
Okay. Yeah, I must
Yeah,
have
and
missed
me and Jack both gave him a 2. So
On the gym, by the way.
I can't imagine anyone does worse than Ubisoft. So we'll see what we got here. I'm very excited. All right. Spin the wheel. Currently spinning. And oh, interesting. We were just talking about them earlier.
Oh, EA.
Yeah.
EA. We got
Oh,
EA.
wow.
Oh, boy.
I think this is perfect for you two.
It's
You
true.
guys are EA. I wouldn't say fans, but you know them.
Know them well.
So, just first and foremost, thoughts. How do you guys feel about Electronic Arts in this current moment? Fusion, I'll start with you.
And I would say current moment is they make some weird choices, but I'm excited about the future lineup under EA. I think
Mhm.
that there's games obviously that they've put out in recent years where it's like, especially on the sports side, where I'm like, these are really bad, but they've also had other sports games that have drastically improved. They've put out games like Split Fiction, publishing Split Fiction, which has a chance of being a Game of the Year nomination. Like they do specific things very well, and then other things like a Dragon Age last year that seems very odd. And like our conversation earlier, how they're just not doing a trilogy. It's very weird for me to pin down EA at the moment.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Bob?
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like they are slowly climbing out of the like everyone hates them, they're just a cash grab, and even like the sports games are the same. Like they're starting to, I think, stabilize it and find a groove in their sports categories, and then it's interesting because we've kind of had this thought that like, okay, they make so much money from Ultimate Team and the microtransactions in the sports games that they can get a little bit more creative on the EA proper side. And we saw that with wasn't Immortals of Avium technically under EA?
Yep.
EA Originals, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then it was the Wild Hearts, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was Koei Tecmo.
Yeah, and so you had like those partnerships, obviously, Split Fiction and Hazelight. You do have the Apex Studio, who I guess right now is kind of going under some turmoil. But it like you do have some creative stuff, and like some things are hitting and some aren't. But then you also have like just this absolute you know black hole in Star Wars outside of Jedi, where it's like they're relying on Respawn too much for some of those projects. And there's all that uproar about Battlefield, even though we can't, or not Battlefield, Battlefront, even though it's feasibly impossible to cash in on that right now because it would take like 5 or 6 years for them to make a game. And then you have like the canceled Titanfall project, the canceled what's the other
There's a
major
lot. I
yeah, right.
have the whole list of canceled games with you.
Right. So it's like they are in a weird spot where it's like and they don't take as many risks as you would think. And then you have stuff like the Skate revitalization where it's like, oh, I don't even know what they're doing here. So it seems like they should be in a better position, and they are they're making very weird mistakes that it seems like no one else is making. And it just kind of leaves them in an interesting spot where I don't really know what to think for certain things.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you guys where it's just like on paper, like I should be excited for EA's future. When you look at their canceled games and just the decisions that they make, like again, like we talked earlier, not remastering certain games, and we're not even talking about Dragon Age, but like Skate or Burnout, and like you have a lot of these kind of just completely ignoring them, leaving money on the table, and on top of all that, it feels like again they all the time. I have a whole list of canceled games that we can definitely get into. Just why even cancel this? Why even not allow this to continue? But they have a lot of games coming into the pipeline. They do announce their stuff, and they have very strong studios, specifically EA Motive. And we're going to talk about Battlefield 6, but I've been loving it and loving it. I'm very curious to see what the future of EA is, but I'm also kind of frustrated by them. Let's get into their 2024 list. Now, do you guys want to shout out anything specifically from 2023? Because think the one major thing outside of the sports games was Dead Space remake.
2023?
Yeah, just real quick shout out.
Jedi also.
Yeah, wasn't Jedi 23?
Yeah, Jedi Survivor was 2023.
Yeah, we shout that out.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually interesting to look back to 2020. No, they actually had big stuff that year. They had Wild Hearts as well.
And
they
that was
did
Immortals
do
of
stuff.
Avium year.
Yeah, Immortals
Okay,
of Avium,
well.
which didn't do the best, but at the end of the day, like, it is another game. It's not like I was looking at Take-Two in their publishing list, and it's like there's just multiple years where it's like the 2K sports games, basically, and nothing else. But to get into their 2024, their first game released was Tales of Kinzera Zao. Either of you check this out at all?
I did not know, but I mean, it was a game that like has a cool story around it, like, and it looked cool. But for some reason, I don't know if it was because of Prince of Persia earlier in the year, like made me care less about Tales of Kinzara, but I never personally got to it.
Felt like
Yeah,
it was weird timed, just because being that soon after Prince of Persia. Sorry about Blue going.
No, you're good. I mean, it's the same thing. It's definitely like one of those like I feel guilty not getting to it kind of things where it's like I probably would like it, I just never got around to it. But I really did like what that studio was doing with that game.
I do want to shout out EA Originals. That's something they tend to do a very good job of. Hey, we have these smaller devs. We reach out to them. We help publish their games. And, like, we give them the funds. And we know that they're not going to be sellers, but we know that at the end of the day, this is going to help our image and help these developers upstart and hopefully do cooler things. They did that with Unravel. Then there was F124. I have nothing to say. I don't know if you do, Pop.
Nope.
Sure don't.
Okay, cool. And this is a game you guys have something. EA Sports College Football 25. I'll let you guys stage for this specific one.
I'll let Bob go first since it's like his greatest game of all time for him.
This is currently the number one. Actually, no, I guess now number two. Favorite game of all time. Yeah, I mean, it really was like the gap between 2014 and 2024 on on these college football games were they were missed. I mean, it was one of the biggest cult-like followings of all time I've ever seen for a video game. To the point where people were like, before the new one came out, people were modding the PS3 emulated port on was it RCPS3 emulator and like upgrading the graphics to modern day and uploading the new Division 1 teams and like added the playoff system, which wasn't even a thing in the original game, which is one of the reasons why me and my friend were always so mad, because so many things changed after that year, the last time the game came out, that if they just had one more game, it would have been on Xbox One, which means we would still be able to play it today. The college football playoff was invented, and then a couple other like changes to the point where it's like, wow, we could have, like, the lifespan of that game would have gone much longer, but because they didn't, it was then trapped on the 360 era, and like that copies of those games were going for hundreds of dollars. So for it to come back, for it to do as well as it did, to try and like harness the energy and the spirit of the original game, it was just really well done. And it wasn't half-assed. It wasn't a cash grab. It wasn't, we're gonna like, just prey on these people who have been begging for this game for 10 years. Like, they did a really good job with it. There's still plenty of improvements that need to be made, but like, this was the first time I like actually had confidence and like supported EA on something in what felt like such a long time.
It was that stage where it felt like, at least for a little bit there, it was like, okay, this feels like a turn around the corner for sports games, and specifically football sports games, where I was like, even today we're seeing it a little bit. We're like, Madden 26. Last year's Madden was one of the worst Maddens of all time, and not to jump ahead, but this year's Madden is leaps and bounds better. And I don't think it would have ever got better if College Football 25 didn't come out. If College Football didn't come back and have that dev team make sure that the Madden dev team has to actually do some shit. They can't just sit there and twiddle their thumbs. They have to improve, because now they have competition of this other dev team with College Football 25. So I think like when College Football 25 dropped, and it was basically everything we wanted. It's not a perfect game by any means, but like bringing it back felt like it turned the leaf of saying, "Hey, we can expect better football games out of this."
Yeah, internal competition helps a ton when it comes to that type of stuff. So, yeah, it makes sense that college football seems to be back in a big way. I mean, now they're doing the yearly releases. There is the new one that came out last month, I believe, and it seems like it's yet another like, hey, this is great for us college football fans. So yeah,
Yeah.
shouts. Next one, this is a weird one. Sims 4 Love Struck is just an expansion for Sims 4, but I do want to point out the idea of like the Sims as a franchise is very weird to me, where it used to be like we got them about once per generation. Sims 2 and Sims 1 released in the same generation. Now with Sims 4, it has been this case since like 2015, I want to believe, when it came out. No, 2014. And I am a Sims fan. I really like The Sims, but like I just every now and then it seems like they've kind of reached this point of like, hey, when it comes to The Sims, we're just gonna continuously update 4. They have mentioned the idea of Sims 5. It's clear it's something that's under development, but it's almost like, do you want to just leave it alone, let a good thing keep going? I don't know how they handle the Sims franchise from here, but it does seem like Sims 5 is something they are paying attention to. So I'm curious to see where that goes.
The Sims is
Uh,
really interesting, as in like I haven't played a Sim game in a long time, like probably a decade, but like that game still like people really like The Sims. Like you said, you're a Sims
Oh,
fan.
yeah.
It's like it's weird to think. I'm surprised there's not like a. I'm surprised there hasn't been another. Here's a like brand new Sims game.
Like
Because
something in
Sims
that
4,
universe.
something where it's like I don't know. It just feels like almost Sims feels underutilized, but also saturated at the same time. Like it feels weird to me how
Yeah,
there's not a lot of new stuff in The Sims, but it feels like every other month there's like this new Sims DLC pack.
exactly. Next is Madden NFL 25. You already said that like the worst Madden was this one.
It's with easily one of the worst Maddens in the last 10 years.
How would you say Madden as a whole, like the franchise, is feeling right now? Are you like is that college football competition enough?
Um, but looking at when we go ahead and look at this year, when we get to Madden 26, yes, but
I mean, you could
I
talk
think
about it
it's
now. This is a yearly franchise.
I still think it's too early to tell. Bop seems to. I still think Madden 26 isn't good enough. Like I'm not buying it. I know Bop did,
Mhm.
and like Bop's enjoying it, so he can go on his standpoint after me. But like, it's still not a good enough product to me, even with college football. And we'll get to college football. I guess we can get it now. I think this year's college football has worse things than last year's college football, and I'm not the only one that thinks that. I think I would actually say a large majority of the community liked college football 25 better than college football 26. So it's like I'm still in that weird way with EA where I talked about earlier, where it felt like college football 25 was going to be turning over and like a new generation of sports games. We're now in a year where Madden is better than it's ever been, but college football didn't take the leap that I expected it to after how good college football 25 was.
Yeah,
What about you?
it's weird because Fusion's definitely right. There are definitely it's pretty split. I think it's probably more like he said the majority, but it's definitely split in the sense that like yeah, there are people who say they like college football 25 more than 26. I'm not one of those people. I do think the changes made to 26 were important and necessary, and some of the like steps taken back aren't as drastic. That being said, the reason it's so weird is because, like, for Madden, for example, in the past, people would always say, "Oh, it's because or even FIFA. Oh, they're focusing on Ultimate Team. They're focusing on the money makers. They're not putting effort into the modes or the features that the players want because those don't make money." That was always the tried and true like complaint, and I don't think that's what's wrong with college football 26. Like, I don't really think the Ultimate Team mode, like, yeah, it's getting a bunch of updates and like they want to give it advertising and attention, but I don't think anyone's pointing fingers there being like, "Oh, they're getting all the updates and we're not getting anything." I think they're just like implementing bad changes. And so it has been interesting in that regard. But to go back to Madden, yeah, Fusion had mentioned it. I ended up getting the dual pack this year because they had talked about, hey, we're finally upgrading the franchise mode, which is like the career mode in Madden, and that's a mode that has been arguably the most deflected what's the neglected mode in the
Mhm.
game's franchise. I say that. Okay, I need to find better words. Anyway, point is
I
the
get what you're
point is
saying.
it's been easily neglected, and it's like one of most players' favorite features because that is the like you take control of your team and you know try and win a Super Bowl with them and like get all these players and scout new players and do all those things. And it was just so neglected they would barely give it any time of the day. And like Fusion said, now that college football came out, I think there was like a renewed focus because the college component in Dynasty is the main feature. It is what most people play that game for outside of Ultimate Team. And I think they saw the pressure from that. It's like, okay, we need to up our game. And it looks like they did. And that was enough for me to say, okay, I can't tell you the last Madden I bought. It was probably like 17 or something. Like it has genuinely been such a long time. I'm just so disinterested in Madden that I bought it. And I'm pretty impressed so far. I don't know where I'm gonna end up on it, but the gameplay does feel better than college football, which is so weird because they're made at the same studio. It's a different team, but they're made at the same studio. And there's always a lot of comparisons of that where like NCAA would play like the Madden of 2 years ago and stuff like that. So they definitely like overshare or they like they share stuff between the teams. But the it's just funny because I think they have improved the franchise mode, but I think I'm just coming to a point where it doesn't really matter what they do. I'm always going to like college football more. But I do like the gameplay in Madden more, which is very interesting because I did not think that was what was going to sell me on the game. But overall, I do think like I mean, College Football 26 has an 85 on OpenCritic right now. Madden, even though it technically just launched yesterday, out of early access, like you know the pre-order access portion, and it only has 14 reviews. It's sitting at an 80, which I would imagine is probably one of the highest it's been in a while. So I feel like sentiment's actually in a decent spot for the football game specifically. I think NHL, I mean, that's just in the basement.
So talk
F1 is
about NHL because it's coming up. You
yeah,
have
I mean,
anything
we
more to
can
say
just
about
talk
that?
about the other ones too right now, like, or I'll touch on them. Like NHL, I feel like has just that's the franchise that needs the biggest reset. Because
EA
the golf
Vancouver.
the golf game got it a couple years ago with PGA Tour. And honestly, that's in a good spot. It still receives updates. They don't need to do a yearly installment, but I really like what they did with that after neglecting it for 10 years. But NHL definitely needs an upgrade. It feels like that's like the true game they've just been pushing out every year with no real meaningful changes. And that one genuinely needs a facelift. And then EA Sports FC, I mean, they talked about it in their financial reports. We've kind of
Yeah,
mentioned it on the
this was
podcast a couple
interesting to point
times.
out.
Yeah, the sales for FC have gone down. And
It's
it's
it.
been
I'm
good.
so
And the
curious about
quality.
that. Yeah, because it's. I wonder if it's just a thing of like the quality, as you said, Fusion, and also the fact of the name change. But I don't know. Like, I feel like there's a lot more to it than just they changed the name because it's like it didn't affect the last FC game as much.
Right. And I do think maybe there's like some diminishing returns there, but I know they still advertise all the time on the actual soccer broadcast, so people know that that's the soccer game. But I do think that maybe they're getting a little bit complacent. And it was shown in the sales last year, and I think
Yeah,
you know that's like the major red flag. So I haven't really heard anything about 26 because I mean
it's
it's not
not out
out
yet.
yet. Right, but
It's still a month.
I'm saying like, you know, the kind of the preview hype period because this is around
Yeah.
the time we're gonna start hearing things about it. Um, I haven't really heard anything yet, so it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, that one has the most to. I mean, that is still the moneymaker. That is the most. It's the best selling sports ones out of all of them. It's the most internationally played one. So EA Sports kind of
Mhm.
more or less lives or dies on EA Sports FC's success.
I will say, just to jump in real quick, when you brought up Madden being a, what did you say, 82 on OpenCritic or 80, whatever it is,
79, I think.
It is the first Madden that hasn't been rated in the 60s since 2020. It's been 5
Holy.
years.
Wow.
That's
The last
insane.
5 Maddens, the best one was a 69. So like it's been a lot. Like Madden has been really bad. Like when I say on this podcast for the last few years, Madden's been bad. I mean, it's been atrociously bad, which is like why
Yeah.
it is exciting that this year is one that like people like Bop can jump in into like and like. I'm sure I could, if I wanted to spend the money, jump in there, and I probably would enjoy the gameplay at the end of the day more than college football, like Bop said earlier. But it's still just not enough for me to spend $70 on 2 football games every year. But that is a point of saying, yeah, this is the first time in half a decade that Madden is on a going up trend and not going down.
Yeah, no, that's because I know for the length I've been in the industry checking stuff out, it's like it feels like Madden's it's just like, oh, it's always been bad. You know, it hasn't been good since the 360. And it feels like now it's like, okay, maybe they can start to improve slowly, but hopefully surely. And I do think there is the added complexity of like 2K starting to get their hands on stuff like college basketball. They were like kind of teasing, and I think they're doing are they doing football or soccer? Or they're doing some sport that EA does. Um, but it seems like 2K getting their hands back on like these sports games again, I think is really going to help EA go like, okay, we actually do need to pay attention to make this stuff good.
Sure.
So yeah, that's all the sports games. I did one small thing. I got to dock points off EA for this. Madden NFL 25. You shouldn't have called it 25. You should have called it 2025 because there already is a Madden 25.
There is a Madden 25.
Yeah, so I thought that was just an annoying thing for me because I'm a freak for that shit. Moving into Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Now, Fusion, you did play this one extensively. You beat the game. I feel like this game has a weird like air around it. Like I said, I know there's a good amount of people who did play through it and enjoyed it, like yourself, Fusion. But I think there's also just as many people who really disliked it and thought it was just a bad game. And I'm curious to see like kind of what I feel like the tail of this game is almost already closed. It was on PS Plus like pretty quickly after it came out, and it seems to have not sold well. EA is not happy with the sales. They've said so before. They didn't say like, oh man, this destroys us as a company, but they were like, no, it just didn't sell what we needed it to. And so I'm very curious to see what the future of BioWare, and I think Dragon Age as a series is definitely just going to be put on ice for a while now.
Yeah, it's that thing where like I really really like this game. Like I love the combat, I love the characters. And it was a thing where a lot of people didn't for multitudes of reasons. Like some people just genuinely thought it wasn't a great video game. A lot of people, especially on the one Twitter app, were just actual bigots that like this game has a lot of LGBT stuff in it, has a lot of just like things like that where like and there was a large portion of gamers that would just immediately use this game to cancel everything else. Like it was a thing where it's like Sweet Baby Inc. this game, woke community this game, like this it unfairly got a large part of last year's just bullshit because of that's just how the world is. So like it's very hard to see how many people actually think it's a bad game because of the game and how many people actually think it's a bad game because they're idiots. You know what I mean? So it's like but I know there are still people out there who just genuinely don't like the game, and it's not what they wanted from Dragon Age, which is fine. I really liked it. It did not sell what it needed to, which is true. I think they said it was like 1.5 million, which they wanted like 3 or something at least. I remember saying something where it's like it only got half of what they expected. So like, did not sell what it wanted. It was on PlayStation Plus really quick, which is never a good sign. And it's that whole thing of I was pretty shocked, honestly. I'm happy it didn't happen, but I'm shocked that EA allowed this to come out and it not to reach expectations, and then BioWare was safe still. You know what I mean? I thought this was going to be the final thing where it's like, okay, we're never getting Mass Effect now because Dragon Age didn't hit their sales expectations. But it seems like, yeah, they didn't hit the sales expectation, but EA still like, we're still giving BioWare one more chance. Like
the
whole thing
is like the fourth chance.
Yeah, they're like maybe Mass Effect's too far along or whatever, but that's besides the point. Dragon Age is a very 50-50. Either you super love this game like me, or you're just very much like either didn't play it or played it and didn't like it. So it's a hard one to like scale there for you. But I think from a business perspective, this was obviously an L for them.
Then moving into another Sims 4 expansion, which there's like 5 of these a year, which is so funny. I don't know how they do it. They released the My Sims Cozy Bundle, which is just ports of those Wii games that I thought was very cute. I don't really know anyone who played it though. And then we get into 2025. So 2024 as a whole, a good, decent year. Like, what do you guys think?
And I don't like. There's nothing in 2024 that's like, oh my gosh, they put out a game of the year thing or like. But I think from a sales perspective alone, from college football, that was like the highest selling game forever.
Yeah.
Like that game
Yeah, it
did
was like in the
insanely
US.
well. Yeah, and like there are other sports games kind of mediocre, and then Dragon Age was supposed to be their big holiday thing, and it kind of fell flat. But I still think from a pure we put out game perspectives, it was not terrible by any means.
Mhm. What about you, Bob?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Fusion on that, where it's like they didn't have a great year, but they also didn't like
It wasn't a
really.
disaster.
Yeah, they I would say like they kind of flew a little bit above like mediocrity.
Moving into 2025, first game of the year. I mean, hey, immediately you were talking about game of the year contenders, Fusion. Well, here is one: Split Fiction, March 6, 2025, part of their EA Originals, done by Hazelight Studios, Joseph Ferris's team, and people really, really love this game.
Yeah, this is that thing where I mean we had a spoiler cast earlier this year, me and Bob did, and Jat, where like I still fully believe. I know everyone's indifferent, and I still fully believe for the year ended today, this is a nomination at the Game Awards later this year, and I still think even a few months from now, with all the other games coming, it's still I think this game is that strong that it can be up there. I think Hazelight is one of those partners at EA that is just so strong, and it's so important that they're together, and like this is a for what this game sells insanely amount. Like It Takes Two sold crazy, Split Fiction selling very well, so like this is a win all around for EA, where it's like they started this year off with a bang. Probably not even probably. It's because they started this year off with a game that's better than every single game they put out in the following year.
Yep. Very strong game. I still need to get to it, and I know you really loved it, Bob.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, let's just immediate strong start to the year with a Split Fiction in March, and then a Command and Conquer game came out. Command and Conquer Legions. I literally did not know this happened, but it was just a mobile game by Level Infinite, which I think is a Tencent studio.
I was gonna say that makes sense.
Yeah. And then it's F125, as per usual. Shout out to F1. EA Sports College Football 26, you guys already talked about. Another Sims 4 expansion, because we just can't go one day without it. Madden NFL 26, NHL 26 is next month. Same with EA Sports FC 26. But the big one is in October, the last two games scheduled for this year for EA. Battlefield 6 and Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. Just want to shout out real quick. Plants vs. Zombies, phenomenal game. Can't wait for this. I love that game so much. So just to get like a remaster of it is pretty exciting. But Battlefield 6, this is a big game for EA. They're putting a lot of money, a lot of resources into this. 2042 was a disaster. Didn't even have a scoreboard at launch, which is still funny. And now they kind of put a lot into this one. Vincent Pella is helping lead the teams for this game. And of course, he's the fucking GOAT. He's done a lot for EA and Respawn over the last few years. So to see him kind of take over the Battlefield franchise, and it seems like a lot of people are extremely happy with it. 500,000 concurrence for the open beta alone. Now, there is that news story that EA is expecting 100 million players to play this game, which is fucking psychotic, which is because the highest amount of players who have played a Battlefield game was 30 million. So 100K is pretty insane. 100 million is pretty insane. But the Battle Royale mode is reportedly supposed to be free, so maybe that's kind of how they expect it. Maybe it was a miscommunication. We don't know, but 100 million still seems weird to me. I'm hoping EA doesn't EA up this game because I think this is going to be a certified banger if everything launches correctly.
Yeah, it's that thing where beta, for the most part, especially weekend one, super positive. Like people are really into it. There has been a little bit more pushback this weekend because the Battlefield team is making some weird decisions with certain game modes, and like I'm not saying the honeymoon of the beta is over, but it's a thing where now people have played 2 weekends, probably 6-7 days worth of this beta. You start to not see things as like, oh, this is the shiny new thing. You start to like actually pick apart certain things. I think, but either way, I think at the end of the day, Battlefield 6 is going to come out later this fall, and it's going to sell a crap ton of copies, and it's going to be for the first time in a very, very long time that Battlefield can go toe-to-toe with Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, like the last one was Battlefield 1 in 2016, and that required Call of Duty shooting itself in the foot with Infinite Warfare.
Yes.
God, that game is so bad. So just like the fact is, like, it's in a very precarious position with this franchise. For like 2 entries in a row, people were really upset with 5. People were majorly upset with 2042. But I think people are right to be excited for this one. And it's like, I see every comment on the videos. It's just like, no pre-orders and please don't hurt me again. It's like people just want Battlefield to be fun again. And I personally really, really love this game. I'll talk about it, but like the open beta has been a blast. And I'm curious to see, it's like, what will the tail of this game be? Will it be supported correctly? Will it be monetized to hell? It's like there's so many ways that EA can EA it up. I am just very curious to see what it looks like. So that's our 2025. Now, listen, a lot of it is yearly releases, but I think Battlefield 6, Plants vs. Zombies, and Split Fiction does immediately make this year better than 2024. I think if all those land correctly, I'm like, yeah, you know what, EA, you had a pretty good 2025.
I'm with you. I still wish they had like a big holiday single player game, like something where it was like something of a Dragon Age or something like. Obviously, Battlefield is their big holiday game, and it will have a campaign. But I do wish they had something that's like they had Split Fiction earlier in the year, so like it kind of balances out. But I wish there was a Dragon Age or a Dead Space or something of that quality like this holiday. But I still would say this year is better than 2024.
Bob, any thoughts?
I think it's going to hinge on the actual release of Battlefield
true.
6. I know,
That is
I know
true.
you guys have talked positively about the beta, and I don't want to come in and rain on the parade. I've just been, and I had talked about this, Wolf, on our duo cast. I've just been so cynical of the Battlefield franchise because it was never really on my radar until, unfortunately, Battlefield 5. And that was a disappointment.
Oh,
And then we
no.
get 2042, and that was a disappointment. And during that whole entire time, where I've now gone through 2 pretty bad Battlefield games and their launches and their hype cycles and everything, and it's just like, oh, this game, this is the one. This is the one that's going to change it. It's like hearing it for the 3rd time. It's like, guys, I don't care. I really do not think you're going to have to show it. You're going to have to show it to me. And in the to the team's credit, it seemed like that first open beta weekend. Granted, I wasn't able to be around, but I missed it, and there was like a FOMO. There was like okay, everyone's playing this and seems to be having a great time, way more so than 2042 or 5. So maybe I should jump in and really try and like sink my teeth into this. And so if they can keep that momentum up and nail this launch, I definitely think 2025 will be better than 2024, especially with Split Fiction 2 being, like we said, a game of the year contender.
And
But
Plants vs. Zombies.
of course, shout out Replanted. Also, shout out The Sims 4 Enchanted by Nature. What would we do
Yes, of
without
course,
you?
of course.
But yeah, I think if for some ungodly reason they just forget to upload the scoreboard to the launch of Battlefield 6,
That'd be so funny.
I can't rule that out. But I think if the trajectory stays where it is right now, and Battlefield 6 doesn't even have to like blow anyone away and be like the best Battlefield game. It just has to be good and competent, like it can be
Exactly.
and should be, really.
And also, I know we didn't shout out, but early access for Skate's supposed to be this year. Who knows when?
Oh my God, I forgot.
Yeah, but we'll talk about. I'd imagine we're going to talk about Skate. I have
Yeah,
some
we will.
thoughts.
Yeah, I think 2025 seems to be stronger. Again, as you said, it hinges on the launch of Battlefield 6 and how they handle that. I think my one thing that really frustrates me about Battlefield, though, is the cost. Specifically, it is under Battlefield Studios, which has DICE, but they're also their LA-based team, which is it used to be DICE LA. I forget what the name of them are. Striking Distance, I think. And they also have Criterion, who did Need for Speed, and for some reason is working on Battlefield, and also EA Motive, who did Dead Space remake and what's it called, Star Wars Squadrons, I think. But 2 very talented teams. By the way, Motive working on the Iron Man game. So to have both of those guys who aren't Battlefield Studios per se. They don't work on first-person shooters, but now it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna take resources away from those teams that are making other games for us. You got to put all of those into Battlefield. That is frustrating, especially I know for the Need for Speed sickos out there. It's like it is frustrating to have Criterion working on Battlefield and kind of toiling away on that instead of Need for Speed.
Yeah, it's teetering the line of, I don't think it will get to this point, but it's something of like what we've seen Call of Duty do over the last half a decade, where it's like so many studios that just should never be working on the Call of Duty end up working on the Call of Duty because like
Toys for Bob.
I know, yeah, like the publisher understands. Activision knew like Call of Duty is going to make quadruple the amount of money as whatever you're making Toys for Bob. So we're just gonna take you off that little kids game and we're gonna put you on Call of Duty. And it's like same thing here with Battlefield. I don't think it's nearly as bad, obviously, because I mean Call of Duty has at some point, even to this day, Call of Duty is probably 18 studios. Like I don't know it by heart, but
yeah,
it's a
Call
lot
of Duty is
studios.
also yearly compared to Battlefield.
And it's like that thing where with Battlefield, it's like EA probably looks at it and they're like, okay, Motive, we know you're working on this Iron Man game. Keep working on that on the side, but like this Battlefield game is gonna pay the bills for your Iron Man game. Is probably what they're telling them. So they're like, we really need you over here. It's like, and usually when stuff like this happens, it never ends up working out, and then you put all these hands on this one project. The project fails, and then it affects Motive back at home and their Iron Man game, or affects Need for Speed over there. Like that's the terrifying part of when things like this happen. Sometimes it works out and it's cool on paper, and you're like, it feels like it's the Avengers of the studios coming together, and they're like making this really cool thing. But if it fails, it is a like colossal fail.
100%. Very frustrating, but also, I mean, like, hey, hopefully that they can finish this launch and it's like, okay, now you can go get back to work on your main stuff.
Yeah, hopefully they don't just become support studios for the rest of like Battlefield's life, which is a scary part. Where it's like, if Battlefield 6 does do really good and they need like that post-launch support, and it needs to be a live service game that goes 2, 3, 4 years, that's also a situation where it's like, okay, Motive, we know you have Iron Man. What if we just canceled that and you stayed on Battlefield to bring in the money? It's like those are always things that can happen.
Yeah, from what I've been reading, it seems like Motive is just working on the campaign. So hopefully that allows them to kind of be more flexible. But yeah, it's a possibility that it's like, no, actually stop making that Iron Man game, just work on Battlefield. Moving into 2026, only one announced game right now. Star Wars Zero Company. This is that tactics game Respawn's doing. I don't really have interest in it just because I don't really care about Star Wars. Either of you interested in it?
I'm so hyped for this game.
Yeah,
okay. Hell yeah.
I'll let Bob go first. He knows more about Star Wars than me.
I mean, it's pretty surface level. We've only seen that like one kind of announcement / images of it, but it like I love a good tactics game, and I'm glad we're getting more Star Wars, especially because it's like I've always gravitated to like, I mean, and Jedi Survivor does this to an extent, but it's like the farther we get away from anyone named Skywalker, the more I'm interested, because I love the world of Star Wars so much, and I hate how fixated we are on this one family. So I love when they do more kind of like the story of it is. Yeah, right. It's like, yeah, let's tell a new story. There's plenty of stories you can tell. Like you look at Andor, you look at The Mandalorian. There are plenty of stories you can tell in this universe that are interesting. And so I'm glad we're getting something else.
And it's that thing where it's two really good studios. Well, I guess we'll see from Bit Reactor, but like Respawn is a cemented, very, very good studio. And then you have Bit Reactor, who's like has a ton of former XCOM, former Civ. Like that studio has so much talent, and it's like you're pairing these two teams together, you're expecting something really cool. And it's like kind of like Bob said, I'm happy that I'm going to get a new Star Wars story where I don't have to know all the Star Wars lore, because I have never watched the movies. So I've never watched Star Wars movies, but I've always loved the Star Wars games. Every time I get a Star Wars game, like Jedi game, whatever, I really enjoy the game. So it's like, give me a game that's now a new story that I can follow and don't have to be like, I don't have to know the Skywalkers and like everything else. It's like, that's cool to me.
All right. Yeah, exciting. What's less exciting is their to be announced selection here. At least some of them. So first and foremost, Need for Speed Mobile. None of us care. Who cares? This one, okay, this is one close to the heart for me though. Plants vs Zombies 3. Welcome to Zomburbia. I want you guys to read up on this. This is such a weird game. Plants vs. Zombies 3 was released in a limited alpha test in July 2019 and was soft launched in select regions in February 2020. The game was redone completely and was soft launched on Android in Australia and the Philippines. The game was released or re-released in April 2022, and another soft launch was released in October 2022. On January 17, 2024, EA announced that the game would be soft launched in more regions until being launched worldwide. What the fuck are you guys doing with this game? When you need to redo it completely, it's Plants vs. Zombies. There is nothing complex about it.
You just just update the visuals and put the game out.
Exactly.
That's
We literally don't want anything crazy. You know what? Hey, you want to know a great sequel to Plants vs. Zombies was Plants vs. Zombies 2 until you fucking overloaded it with microtransactions and daily bullshit that nobody wanted to play it. So literally, just release, hey, here's Plants vs. Zombies. It looks better. Here's some new plants that you could use. Here's some new zombies to fight. $20. There you go. Boom, done. I'm in. It's so easy. They make it look so hard.
Okay, but counterpoint, Wolf. What if we could make Zomburbia in Unreal Engine 5, baby? Come on, let's go crazy.
What if we made it a third-person shooter for some fucking reason? Like, it's simplest IP.
You need ray tracing on mobile, all right? Let's calm down.
Oh my god, dude. It's like my 13th reason why is just that there was never another Plants vs. Zombies game that was as good as the first one, when it really should be easy. I don't know. This is you, Bob, though. Skate. Skate's been the game that's kind of been eluding people for a long time, but now they're finally bringing it back with this live service approach, and literally every headline I've seen about this game is hellish. And I remember me and Fusion, we reacted to kind of the early access screenshots and the art style, and we're like, uh-oh, this doesn't look good.
Yeah. Again, Skate was another game, kind of like NCAA, college football, where it had a super long wait between games. I think Skate 3 came out in 2008, 2009.
I think 11.
Really?
Let me check. Yeah, hang on. It was 2010.
Okay, yeah, so pretty close. And actually too, I think like Skate 1 was 2007. I think they were like cranking these games out pretty fast too back in the day. Man, what a time where you could crank out a franchise in 3 years. But it's been over a decade since the last Skate game, and people were asking. It was like a cult classic game that people really wanted an update on. And then I think it was 2021, 2022. They were like, "Hey, we're bringing it back," and everyone got really excited.
2021.
Yeah, and it's not even that I respected that they showed like pre-alpha footage of that game. Like they were very upfront and honest about like, yeah, this is where we're at. This is where it's gonna be. Like, but trust the process, please. And I was willing to respect that. But I feel like this year it started to like kind of rear an ugly head that has really started to upset me. Because in April,
real quick, they announced that their early access is at the end of summer. We're mid-August. That says a lot.
Yeah. And like I hope they delay that, honestly, because I don't this game. I don't know why this game would need an early access period. Like genuinely, but again, going back to like my issues with it is that I think it was earlier this year they said there would not be an offline mode to deliver on the vision of the skateboarding world that the team wants to make, and it's like, that's cool, but like who asked for that? Like I don't.
They want to make it like an MMO,
right? Like no one was asking for that, and then you're also just now like setting up a point of failure to be like, yeah, at some point the servers for this game will go down and you won't be able to play it again. And then also people have talked about in the alpha play testing that microtransactions are already in the game, and it's like, okay, wow, they're really just like if if they really do release an early access skate game of a online only, kind of like live service multiplayer game filled with transactions, they're gonna burn every goodwill bridge that they have.
Yep.
Like I really hope they somehow figure out how to pump the bridge. They won't. But like I could not be less excited for a video game because I love Skate 3 to death. I used to do before I could even buy it. There was a glitch where you could do a demo of it and then you could glitch the demo for an unlimited amount of time and like play more.
Oh yeah.
It was the coolest thing. And I bought the real game and I loved it. I played the, hell out of it. And it just feels like this is such a, it's so funny too, because like skateboarding culture is very like rebellious and like punk rock. And like you've seen too with the Tony Hawk games, like how it matters to get the original feeling and style and
Yeah.
just overall nature of the game right. Because because they mean so much to so many people. And for you to do the exact opposite of that and do the features and modes that people hate the most, adding in microtransactions, it's funny. It's like you sold out. Like
Yeah.
it
There's
just
nothing
feels
more
like,
punk rock than giving money to EA.
right. It just feels like the most soulless. Going back to like soulless cash grabs, like this one does feel like that, and I really don't want to support it. And it sucks because then EA is going to be like, "Oh, no one likes this game. Cool, we're never making another one." It's like, well, you guys shot yourself
Wrong
in
lessons.
the foot, and then got mad at us for paying your own hospital bill. Like, what are we? What are we
Damn, that
doing?
goes hard. Holy shit. That's a good line.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna use that.
Like
Wow.
this project really pisses me off.
Hey, no, I like that. Yeah, Skate, I don't know. We'll see how that does. It is looking a little subject to bleh. And that art style, again, it's like, damn, it just looks like you're really chasing Fortnite. It just, that does not suit Skate.
It makes Drag X Drive look like it has an artistic flair to it.
Okay, let's calm down. It doesn't look that bad. Next one on the list here, Rust Heart. I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't. Made by Glowmade.
And they did, gosh, I think it's called King of Meat. Some game that was at opening night live last year. It was the first game. It's really bad. This game's also probably gonna be really bad. So
good to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Next,
a small MDT. It's an EA original.
Okay, well, that's cool at least. Untitled game by Steve Fukuda, who is a person at Respawn. We don't know much about it. We just know that he's leading a team over there.
This is the one though that the rumor last year was this is not Titanfall 3, but a game set in the
extraction
Titanfall universe.
shooter.
No, this was a different one.
Oh, this is, oh my god.
Yeah, they canceled. They like
just Titanfall 3. It's so
Yeah.
easy. We'll get to Titanfall. Oh, we'll get to Titanfall. Trust me.
But yeah, this is like because he was the director on both Titanfall games, so like he has Titanfall. Obviously, he knows very well. This one's like I don't know what the exact rumors are, but it was rumored to be in the universe of Titanfall.
They think Titanfall as a name is like poison. Like I don't understand EA at all.
They hate Titanfall just as much as they hate remakes and remasters.
Then Untitled Star Wars Jedi Survivor sequel. Not much to say there. Probably going to be a banger. The last two were great games. Untitled Iron Man game. This is the Motive game. This was one that when the Black Panther game was canceled, I was surprised this survived, but it seems like this one seems to be either further along. They're hitting deadlines most likely, and it just seems like Iron Man as a character is probably just an easier sell to a wider market.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. This game could be complete ass, but if it's fun to play as Iron Man, I do not care. I will probably play it.
Just make it feel like Anthem. Boom.
I was about to say, some people will say just take the Anthem flying and put it in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Untitled Mass Effect game. Simple question, Fusion. Will this come out?
Yes.
Yeah, you believe?
Yeah, I think we're too far along.
All right. I want to believe. It's just kind of hard knowing a lot of the turmoil at BioWare, but like you said, it's like they revealed it. They keep teasing it. It's clear that they.
I say we go about every year we get something new. It's not a lot, but like we get something new. If we're at the point though where it's like you gotta give us a new trailer or something.
Yeah.
We're being at what 2021?
At least a tone setter.
Yeah, like we got the teaser trailer of like Mass Effect coming back. That was 4 years ago. Like this has to be this has to be the year where they're like, hey, maybe at the Game Awards, give us something with actual substance. Let's see the main character. Let's get that far. I just don't believe that we're at that point because I mean this team just beat. I mean they just finished Dragon Age last year, so it's like
Yeah.
they're
They were
still
all
on a
hands
very
on deck for that.
and a lot of people left BioWare between now and Dragon Age release. So like, I'm sure they would show us more if they had more. It's just like they're probably at a point where it's like we're still not close enough to show you. But I really do think by Game Awards they should be in a spot where they can show us something. And if we have absolutely nothing, I'm a little concerned.
This might be a bad time, but I don't think this game comes out.
Yeah, we know you've been saying it for 2 years. You hate her.
Yeah. I really like Mass Effect. Even
Yeah,
though I
you do,
haven't
man.
finished
You like
it.
Mass Effect 1 the best. Like, okay,
Yeah,
weirdo.
well, hey, great game. But I also do wonder, like, not that I don't think it will matter a whole lot, but I do wonder how Exodus will affect the trajectory of this game. Like, if it does.
You two are
Because
the only people excited for that game. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to say it.
Moon and Binks are excited.
Yeah, they're excited for every game.
Wow.
But we also haven't, they've been purposely not saying anything about the game. So I feel like when we get back into that hype and marketing cycle, things will be different. But like,
Okay.
that really is set up to be the successor, like the new Mass Effect game. And if that game turns out well, I just don't see how EA looks at BioWare as like, all right, guys, that's the benchmark. You think you can hit it?
Yeah.
What if we're in a world where like Exodus someone's like amazing? I'm talking about like an 88 or something, and the EA is like, what if we just bought Exodus? Like, what if we bought the team, and this is the new modern Mass Effect. They just throw BioWare to the side.
Yeah, they're just like, hey guys, this is the Mass Effect team now. BioWare's like, I thought we were. It's like, shut down. Bye.
I thought we were.
From here, Project Green, the Sims game, we already talked about it. Probably extremely early in development right now. And then finally, an untitled Marvel game that we literally know nothing about, but there's apparently another Marvel game being developed, which was announced back in like 2022. And then they canceled Battlefield Mobile. There's a lot more cancellations from here. The Respawn Mandalorian game, they canceled that. They canceled Black Panther and also shut down Cliffhanger Games, the studio that they formed to make that Black Panther game. They canceled the Titanfall extraction shooter. Thank God. They canceled Dead Space 2 remake as well. They've canceled a lot of games the last few years. And this is kind of the part of EA that frustrates me the most, is that they are very cancel heavy and it's very loud stuff. And also, Titanfall, they cannot fucking get right for some reason. I don't know why, but every time there's a Titanfall 3 rumor, a Titanfall 3 project, it's immediately followed up by it got canceled or it got removed or changed or some type of thing. They are allergic to the name Titanfall.
Yeah, I mean, this is the pushback when it comes to EA, where it's like, I am excited about a lot of their projects coming out, and even this year and last year are pretty decent years game release wise. But it's the thing of the mismanagement of the studios at the end of the day, and canceled games that I was genuinely excited for, and like things that sound really cool on paper is what pushes me back with EA, where I'm like, does this all come back when your sports games just not doing well? You know what I mean? There's a thing where it's like, well, all these sports games aren't bringing us the cash that they once were, so now we're like having to pivot and we're canceling these quote unquote project games like a Mandalorian game and a Extraction Titanfall game. It's like things like that where it's like, even the Black Panther game, dude, I was like so excited for that Black Panther game. They made a studio for that game. Like that was a brand new studio, and then we just canceled it before we even got to see it. So it's like,
yeah,
this is my pushback when it comes to EA. It's like, can I truly trust them at the top to be like, hey, we're gonna have all these studios under us, and we're gonna have good leadership?
100%. It's a thing of like, I don't know how I feel about your games if I don't see anything about them. It immediately tells me, it's like, are you even like certain you're going to go through with it? Where, yeah, Iron Man avoided cancellation now. What about next year when Battlefield's doing really well? And it's like, actually, no, cancel that Iron Man game. There's just a lack of commitment with EA that I feel is just really, really frustrating to me.
They play, I think, one of you said it earlier, but it's like, it almost feels like EA plays way too safe. They're like, they stick to their sports games. They stick to like anything Star Wars because that's just a safe bet, and Respawn's good with it. I mean,
But even then, they canceled the Star Wars game.
Yeah, true. That is true. But it's like they seem like they play way too safe and they don't want to take chances anymore. Where it's like I don't know if they think they're just in a spot where if they take too many chances, they're gonna go under and they can't like keep up, or it's like if they think, well, we have our EA originals, those are the places we'll take chances on these small indie sides, and then the rest of our studios will just play it super safe. We'll put out the sports stuff, we'll put out the Star Wars stuff, we'll never look at Titanfall, we'll say the name 7 times, we won't touch it. But it's like we'll put up Apex stuff. We didn't bring up Apex at all today, and it's like
because it's in a bad spot.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Very frustrated with it.
A lot of the player base is frustrated with Apex, but it's still a game that's definitely still bringing them in money. And it's like, we know at some point there's rumors about like not an Apex 2, but they want to do something again like in the Apex universe, which is also just the Titanfall universe, so it doesn't make sense. But like they want to push those Apex characters even further. So it's like it just seems like they're playing again really safe. Put out the sports stuff, put out the Apex stuff, put out the Star Wars stuff. Everything else, we're either gonna go really slowly into it, or we're just gonna not worry about it.
Which again is very frustrating because they have house money. They have these sports games that make so much money. You have the money, so why are you acting like
you have really
an
cool
indie
franchises.
publisher?
Like, you have awesome franchises over there. Like, I mean, it's the thing. It's like you can push back a little bit and be like, well, like they're putting out a Mass Effect game, but it's like, yeah, are they? Like, I believe it's coming out, but it's like there's not a lot talking about it. They're putting out Skate. It's like looks bad, so it's like maybe it feels like when they do take the chances, it isn't being pulled off correctly. So maybe it is the point of just like maybe they have to play it safe. Like if they don't play it safe, then bad things happen.
Last thing I want to do here, I have a list of EA franchises. Just very fast, give me a revival or a dead in the water for this franchise. If you think we'll get a new entry in, let's say, the next 3 or so years, like we'll get a new entry or we'll hear about this franchise again. Burnout.
Dead.
Dead in the water. It should be alive. It really should.
Yeah.
Grid.
Dead.
Grid.
Dead,
Dead.
probably.
Fucking murdered. Dirt.
Oh.
That's an interesting one.
Revival.
I think alive. Yeah.
Yeah. They recently had Dirt 5, right? Like 2020?
Yeah.
It was something around it was the start of these consoles.
Okay, so this is a asterisk Command and Conquer, but specifically an actual non-mobile release.
Yeah, dead. I'm saying
dead.
Yeah, probably dead.
Let me hit you guys with this one. Def Jam.
All right.
I mean,
Come on.
dead. Like, can we have like it's 6 feet under? Like there's no way to come back.
Dude, could you imagine though a Def Jam now? You play as Kendrick, you beat up Drake. Like, come on, that's such an easy moneymaker.
Would never allow it nowadays.
Yeah. Dragon Age.
In the next 3 years, dead.
Yeah, I guess in the next few years dead, but I think that's just because it's on ice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dead Space.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say revival. I think we are gonna get a Dead Space 3 remake at some point.
Yeah. I hope that it's alive.
Yeah. I could see them like kind of reviving it. It's like, okay, why not? Let's bring it back. So this is a weird one. It's not technically owned by EA, but they did publish a couple of them. Crisis 4 is in development. Like, I think that game's never coming out. I don't think it's ever coming out.
Also dead, sadly. Crisis games are cool.
I actually don't know if you guys know anything about this one. Dungeon Keeper. Is that old point and click dungeon game? I used to play it as a kid. It's dead. So okay, we already did F1 Grid. Hang on. Mass Effect. Do you think Mass Effect releases in the next 3 years? Is a better question.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay. I want to believe.
Well, I mean, I think in my head, Mass Effect's probably 2028. That's 3 years.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Medal of Honor. Steven Spielberg's Medal of Honor.
I wish he was alive, but that shit is so dead.
They had that recent VR game, but like nobody talked about it.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you guys know this one, Mercenaries?
Yeah. Well, if it's the one I'm thinking of way back in the day, like PS2 era.
Yeah, Mercenaries 2: World in Flames.
Oh yeah, dead.
Definitely dead.
Yeah, that's Pandemic. That's in that studio's gone. So, Micro Machines. Oh my God, Micro Machines.
Oh man, what a throwback!
I'd kill for that. Yeah, it's dead. It feels like they could actually do something with it with how well the Hot Wheels
fun
games
remake.
do. Yeah. Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, no, it's in, but a Mirror's Edge remake would be sick.
Yeah, for sure.
They fucked up Catalyst so bad that
That
like
was such a fumble.
I a remake of the original would be cool, but I just feel like that Catalyst burned them so bad. that
Mirror's
it's
Edge,
dead.
and it should be noted, Mirror's Edge 1 was going to be delisted at a point. Like, it was literally on the block, and then, like, there was enough
Yeah,
outcry
that's
that they
right.
avoided it. NBA Jam. You said Dead Fusion?
Yeah, dead. That game
Okay,
never
okay.
came back.
NBA Street.
Just as dead.
God, I wish, but
It really should be alive, but yeah. Need for Speed. This is a weird one because we heard the reports that it was on ice.
I
But within
think
the next 3, I think in 2028 we'll get a trailer.
I
So I'll say
just
revival.
and you guys talked about it last week, Wolf, but I just feel like
Mhm.
Need for Speed, like Unbound was such a like it wasn't a flop, but it just got like it came and went. And that's kind of
Yeah.
been the last couple of releases. Like I remember being so hyped for Heat in like 2019 or whatever, and no one talked about it. It just that like they're
Yeah.
still chasing. Like everyone talks about Need for Speed Most Wanted. That was almost 20 years ago. Like I just think they need to go on ice and figure it out.
It seems like it's just in a weird spot because I know people really liked Unbound, but like I remember with Unbound, it was revealed a month before it came out, and it came out in December, the month where games go to die. So that tells you what at least EA feels about Need for Speed because they're just
Well,
not giving that franchise any favors.
but and it's like they try to do like a different art style, which is cool. Wasn't that the one
Yep.
where they're like, "Hey, Travis Scott's in the game"? It's like,
Yeah.
what?
Oh yeah, that was a
Like,
weird one.
they're clearly just throwing things at a wall and seeing what sticks, and it's like, okay, just we need to let this game breathe for a little bit.
100%. NFL Blitz.
Dead.
Dead. Yeah, it would be cool though.
I'd pop
Uh,
for an announcement of a new one though.
Bob, can you tell me if Pago's coming back? If we can
God,
believe.
speaking of popping for an announcement, I'd lose
want
my
it so
shit
bad.
for a Peggle 3. Oh my god, but it's dead.
It's dead. And
Hold on.
I feel
Did you ever play the mobile one that came out in like 2016?
dude, I was
2017?
obsessed with it. I put it on airplane mode because
Oh,
it is
100%.
so hellish. Oh my
Yeah.
god, but it's such a
Yeah.
good game
It's
if it
very
didn't
good.
have all that crap.
Yeah.
I forgot about this one. Project Cars. I actually don't know much about it. It's probably dead though. Road Rash.
God, they have so many racing games. I did
They
not
have
realize
so
Dude,
many
that.
way too many.
franchises.
They're all
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Dead.
Yeah, dead. Sim City. God, I want it. I'm a big Sim City fan, but it's dead. The last one was such a disaster, and City Skylines kind of ate their lunch until
That's
City
right,
Skylines
okay.
2 came out, and that was also a disaster. So it's also, I feel like the City Builder crew, we ain't happy lately. Things have not been good for us.
yeah, probably dead.
Spore, yeah, dead.
my
I don't
God.
even need to talk to y'all about that. SSX.
Dead.
Oh, I wish, dude, but I just feel like action sports games just have not been able to sell.
You know what's
Arcade.
this has made me realize that like I dislike every other EA franchise. Like these are just things that like they could stay
You're
dead.
the reason.
They could stay dead, and I would never care. I would never care. Road Rash, Project Cars, like even NBA, even the sports games, NBA Street, Jam, and NFL Blitz, I can never see again and never care. Never care.
What? Oh, whoa,
Never
whoa,
care.
whoa,
No
whoa!
care.
You didn't
Listen,
care
a little
about
too
Blitz
far.
or
Nope, I did
Street?
not. I would never care about them.
Oh, I'm so sorry you had a tough childhood, Fusion. Like there's just
I
no
don't know. I
love
would
in
never
your
care.
heart.
I'm a simulation guy. I like my sports games to be like, I want my sports games to cater to what I would see on a Sunday or Saturday. You don't get. I understand that's not what those games are. Like I'm not saying those games are bad, but for me personally, you would never be like, I would never spend money on that NFL Blitz.
Sad.
That's funny. Star Wars Battlefront.
Oof. I mean, we talked
gonna
about
say-
it earlier.
I'm
like,
gonna say dead just because I don't think they can put out a trailer or something
Not
within
in
the
3
next 3
years.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could
do
see
think
like
it
maybe
comes back.
2030. Yeah, I could see like maybe 2030 or something. Like we're finally in that area, but like they're working on Battlefield right now. It's not even out yet.
Exactly.
Like, there's no chance.
NBA Live. Just some type of NBA sports game from them.
That's interesting.
If,
I think
if
dead
the
because they're
college
working on the
rumors are-
college game. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they do the college game and they don't do it. I don't think they
No.
do a NBA game.
I'll say alive. I think they're more likely to tie in a college game with NBA Live.
I forget if I said this one. I missed it earlier. Army of Two. I mean, it's dead, but
You did
Yeah,
not.
might as well shout. Yeah, might as well shout it out.
How does this,
Titanfall.
that's good. Revival.
Revival.
What's that?
We know that dude, Steve Paducah,
No,
whatever.
No. Titanfall. It's named Titanfall, not Universe. It's the name is Titanfall.
It will be whatever project he is working on will have Titanfall somewhere in the title.
It's like on the very back of the box art in the Titanfall universe. It's like that counts. I hope so. And then finally, Ultima. That's their like RPG series. That's dead.
Yeah. Gosh, bro, how is this? How is EA alive?
That dude. This is the point I really wanted to like hone in on. Why do they have so many dead franchises? Why do they have so many franchises that they do nothing with? Which, let's be honest. I mean, Fuchsia, I know you say like, oh, I don't care about most of these. People love NBA Street. People love NFL Blitz. People love Command and Conquer. People love all these franchises from EA. I never grew up with a lot of EA franchises, but you know what I grew up with was PopCap and Maxis. And the fact that I live in a world where they struggle to make a Plants vs. fucking Zombies game and a Peggle game. Peggle? It's literally it's a pachinko game. I can make that in 10 minutes in Game Maker. And yet you guys can't make a Peggle game? Like, it's insanity.
Actually, like Peggle should just come on the next Xbox.
Exactly.
It should be a buy into the console like Astrobot.
It should be like a game you can play while you're downloading other games. It's like, oh, you want to play a quick match of Peggle? Like, it's insanity to me. But this is my big takeaway from EA as a company, that they just don't. They have so many dead franchises, so many dead studios, and it's hard to have faith, like we were talking about earlier, in them. Like, oh, we're bringing back Skate, we're bringing back this. It's like, well, clearly, I don't know if you're actually going to put all your resources in it, or if you're going to say, okay, well, that didn't do well. Back to Battlefield and back to the sports games.
Like, it's weird. They're just boring, and it's weird to me that like things like I wish Respawn and BioWare were under EA. Like, when I look at the rest of this list, I'm like, even Hazelight, I look at the rest of the list, I'm like, you guys don't deserve to be here. like EA
you can do better.
Yes, EA at this point should just purely be a sports publisher, like a sports and racing publisher. They shouldn't have a Mass Effect under their belt. They should have never put Dragon Age the Railguard out. It's like, they shouldn't own Dead Space. Like, these are things I feel like would be in so many other better hands and just not have EA anywhere to do with them. And I'm not saying EA as a whole is a bad company. It's because, like, I look at EA and I'm like, none of these franchises scream EA. I think of EA and it's like, okay, racing and sports games.
Yeah, I think boring is the best word to say. It's just they are not interesting. They're not pulling out crazy cards. They're not saying, you know what? No, we're going to put the money in Titanfall and we are going to believe in it and not release it next to Battlefield and Call of Duty for some fucking reason. We're actually just going to make a good-ass Titanfall 3 that you guys want, where it has a multiplayer mode, it has the campaign, and it's a fucking banger. But no, we can't even do that. We can't even make a Plants vs. Zombies game. We can't even make these simple... At the end of the day, yes, game development is not, like, easy. It's not like... I say I could make Peggle in 10 minutes. God, no, I can't. But at the end of the day, it's not as complicated as I feel like EA thinks it is. Where it is like, no, you put the money in, and you're going to get the money out. That's all you have to do. And yet you make it look like it's like, well, I mean, we don't know if this is going to make, 100 million players. The fact that I could be reading a headline early next year, and it's like, Battlefield was a big launch, everyone loved it, and I see a headline next year, Battlefield didn't meet expectations. Oh, it wasn't as much as we needed. And it's like, it is way more than 90% of games out there. So yeah, I'm very harsh on EA, which is unsurprising. Listen, this is a company that was voted the worst company in the world 2 years in a row, which, let's be honest, was such an overreaction. Guys, Nestle exists. So that's a weird choice to say EA, a video game company, but they're just a very frustrating company at this moment in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Bob, any final thoughts?
Did we give
I mean, I definitely mirror.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, real quick. Fusion, did you say something?
I was saying, like, are we going to give our rankings at the end, or did we do that?
Yeah, just Bob,
Okay.
I want to get Bob's final thoughts real quick. Go for it.
Yeah. I definitely mirror the thoughts you guys both said on it. My only caveat would be keep doing the EA original stuff. I
Yes.
know it's weird. I know they're like not working outside of like Hazelight, which technically predates the EA original stuff, but
No, they
clearly
were after.
even
Well, the studio wasn't
yeah.
it, but ever since A Way Out and Joseph Ferris's team, specifically within Hazelight, that was
gotcha.
after EA Originals. But yeah,
Got
continue.
Okay. No, I feel like yeah, it's funny. They have all these franchises and they don't know what to do with them, and they keep killing and canceling projects and then remaking bad ones. But then at the same time, they are giving all of this money and funding these other like partner studios that are doing like cool and unique and interesting things. And yeah, sure, some of them aren't hitting, but if one does, that's going to be, that's all they really need to like set them up for the next couple of years. So I hope they at least continue to support that along with everything else, because I think that is like the one really important element to their company right now.
Yeah, so final scores, what would you guys give EA as a publisher out of 10?
I'm gonna go 5. The thing is, like, I think we mix up boring equals bad, and like to me, EA they haven't. It's not like we looked over the last 2 years and their future. I don't see anything inherently bad there other than the cancel projects, but it's like it's just boring to me. Like
Mhm.
I know you guys were really harsh on Ubisoft. We gave them a 2, but like that is what it is. Like EA is like
Yeah.
there was stuff coming out of EA that is still good and it's still fun and I'm looking forward to. But there's a lot of this company that's just boring. So like to me, I think
Mhm.
middle of the road, just 5 out of 10. I think like EA as a publisher has been like, and they haven't been terrible, but they haven't been great. They're just right there in the middle as an average, boring video game company. Which I guess you could say the worst thing to be in a video game industry is boring, but that's what they are.
Uh-huh. Yeah, for me, I'd give them a 4, just one step below you. And I think I sound harsh, but the way I kind of look at it is how do I have faith in the games that are coming out of you, like right now? Do I have faith that you're going to release them and put out a great product, and I'm going to be very excited for it? And the fact is, like Battlefield 6, if it was done by any other company, maybe not any other company, but like most other publishers, I think I'd be like, well, it's going to launch well at the very least. Like I do believe it's going to launch well. I am like still holding out despite putting so much time in the beta on this game because I'm like, well, how are the servers going to be? I don't know if I trust the servers are going to hold up at launch. And the fact is, it's like I just don't know if I trust EA with a lot of things really. And I think you put it out perfectly, Fusion, where it's like, why do you guys have Respawn and BioWare? Why do you have these studios that make big single player games, big video games in general? Apex is a big deal, but it feels like you just don't want anything to do with them. Why does it feel like that was like kind of an old era of EA where you wanted to experiment and kind of do new things, but now this current era of EA, you're just like, nah, let's just stick to the essentials, the classic original. We know that this is going to do well no matter what. And the fact is like they keep canceling stuff where I'm like, Iron Man should be a shoo-in. Iron Man should be just like that's going to bang. But the fact is, I still think that game could be canceled. And I know we're in an industry where anything could be canceled. I just think right now, some reason Iron Man, I'm like, well, you canceled Black Panther and you shut down that studio. What is different about Iron Man really, other than EA motive is proven? And maybe that's enough for EA. Maybe they're like, well, you guys have put out stuff before that's good. So maybe that's enough for them. So yeah, right now, just EA, they frustrate me. And honestly, I would have given them a 5 as well, Fusion, but then I thought about PopCap and Maxis, and I'm like, man, you really screwed those two specifically, and those are the two of my childhood. So it's kind of hard for me to be objective about it.
I will say before Bob goes real quick, it almost feels like the company stuck in the like 360 days without the creativity. It's like we're still putting out Sims, this and that, like Battlefield, like these are your big things 15 years later, but like you're not getting the Dead Space, you're not getting the Plants vs Zombies, like cool stuff. You're not getting like the Mass Effect trilogies, like you're not, you know what I mean? Like you're canceling those type of stuff, and then you're just putting out your sports game, Battlefield, and The Sims. And it's like you guys have been doing this for 20 years. It's boring. Yes. Like where's the creativity? Where's the more EA original stuff? Yes, we have Split Fiction, which is awesome, but it's like that's not a studio you own. That's just a partner you work with.
100%. Bob, how about you?
Oh, this is funny. I think I'll give him a 6. So kind of on
okay.
the other
All
side.
different.
Yeah. And plus it still averages out to a 5 then, so I think
I
that's
love
fine.
Madden so much.
But
Bro loves
I
his
mean, no,
sports.
but that's the thing though. Like I have already spent 180 hours in college football.
Yeah.
Wait,
Like
it
I
came out last month. What the fuck?
yes, that's all I've been
Buddy,
playing.
I better catch you on Metal Gear Solid when that comes out, all right? I better not catch you on Madden when it comes out. Buddy,
Hey,
I
there's
need an
national
offer.
championships
lost
to
an
be
ally.
won. Buddy.
I need an offensive coordinator for the Owls. I might have to
right.
call him in.
So it's I mean, you guys aren't wrong. Really, it's just I think it's a perspective of how you're interacting with the studio, and I definitely really appreciate that the sports games are actually good for the most part again. And like Jedi Survivor was a little bit less than 2 years ago, and that was still or a little bit more than 2 years ago. That was still a fantastic game. The Dead Space remake was still a fantastic game. Split Fiction, like they're still making great games. It's just they're also canceling a lot of games. They're still stepping on rakes in other regards, or they're just whiffing, like on some of these EA originals. So it's like I can't be too harsh on them because they are still doing good things. But you guys are also right in like we're not talking about like a low level publisher. We're talking about EA, who has been around the
Yes.
industry for so long and should be held to a higher standard, and should be able to put out more than what they are right now. So I think that's totally fair, in y'all's perspective of it. But for me, I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna put them a little bit higher.
That's fair. That's fair.
I will
think,
say, I just have a question real quick.
yeah, go for it.
Specifically for you, do you think, now looking over EA and giving them a 4, well, I guess 4 is still really low, do you think you were more harsh on Ubisoft than you should have been? Or is this like a no?
I think Ubisoft has a substantially weaker future because I think EA still has a future. My thing about Ubisoft is mainly the one thing I really put a lot of credit, and I think Jack being there was something that kind of made me solidify it, was them doing that Tencent holdings company of Rainbow Six, Assassin's Creed, and one other franchise, Far Cry. And the way Jack was talking about is like, I'm worried about everything that isn't one of those 3 franchises. And my favorite Ubisoft franchises are mostly on the other side of that. So that's kind of that thing of like, I don't have a faith that Ubisoft exists in the next 10 years, is the way I'd put it. EA will exist in the next 10 years.
I'm with you, Wolf. I think that's totally justified because, no one's wondering, is EA in trouble? Are they doing bad things? Yes, but no one is like, what is the future of, like, will they, like you said, will they exist? And like, they make way too much money for that to happen. It's just
Exactly
a disappointment of expectations rather than the company not existing at all.
Yeah, we got 2 negatives in a row. I hope the wheel gives us Capcom next. Like that's just an easy, like, oh yeah, they're goated.
Please, I need a Square Enix episode.
Oh my
I need a wheel to speak to me with a Square Enix time.
Dude, you and Bench on a Square Enix episode would be peak. Well, that's publisher review. Let's talk real quick about what we've been playing. I mean, Bob, you talked a good amount about Madden 26. Anything you just want to shout out real quick about it?
Yeah, I kind of already touched on everything. I want to play a little bit more of it, but ironically, college football has been taking up more of my time. But I do really like the presentation and the graphics of it this year. It really seems like they took a step up in that department, and it's cool that like. And I don't know how long they've been doing this or if they've been doing it in the past, but it's really cool that like Scott Hansen, the guy from NFL Red Zone, which if you know his voice, you know his voice. He will do like a game recap, and they literally will go into the other games, generate highlights. Like you didn't play that game; it was a completely computer simulated game. They will go in and generate highlights for that game for you to watch, like you're watching SportsCenter or something. Cool. I'm like, that's really cool.
That's awesome. I hope the Madden fans are happy with this one. I gotta say, Bob, you're back in your 2010s era.
Dude, I am
playing college football and Madden, like,
and goddamn. I'm about to join the Battlefield beta. Like, it's
all your All you're
It's
missing
bad.
now is a Halo and a COD, and then you're
I
back.
can't wait to see his Soggies list at the end of the year.
Yeah,
Oh,
I still need
God.
to finish Death Stranding.
God bless. All right, Fusion, you and me, we checked out the Battlefield 6 open beta. I spent a lot more time in it, despite you hyping it up more, fake fan. But I think if you've been listening to the podcast the last few weeks, I have been, I don't want to say harsh, but like kind of like, okay, we'll wait and see about Battlefield. I've never historically been a Battlefield person, but I decided to check out the open beta, got some friends together, and I've been having an absolute blast. I mean, this is way more fun than I ever expected to have with a Battlefield game. This is usually not my franchise, but I love that kind of large scale warfare gameplay. Like, I've always conceptually really liked Battlefield. It's just that I never liked how the shooting felt. And I think this is the game that, to me, the shooting feels awesome. I love like just the look of it. I love how it's a modern warfare setting. We're not fighting Nicki Minaj or Beavis and Butthead. It's like
Yeah.
actual like military soldiers. I love how gritty it is. I've been rewatching that like initial reveal trailer and it's like, damn, like I love like kind of the serious tone of this trailer, like the serious vibes of everything. It's not silly and goofy and over the top. It's very much like grounded. And you know, I wouldn't say realistic because at the end of the day, this is a shooter. Like they're gonna take some liberties about a lot of things. But I think this is awesome. I'm having an absolute just joy getting to it. It's one of those things where like I was playing with a Discord group of friends till like 2 a.m, and I haven't done that for a multiplayer game in a long time. Because I've said before, I'm not a multiplayer gamer. The thing about multiplayer games, I get really bored very quickly because I'm like, okay, I've seen it all. Like, I think the thing about Battlefield that's working for me is that even though I'm playing on the same maps, it feels like there's so many different situations. It's the same reason I loved Helldivers so much, is that it feels like it's like, yeah, I'm going to the same places, but there's so many different kind of endings to every match, endings to every like situation, and like ways that you fight each of the enemies, or go, you know, you take C on Iberian, I forget what it was called, Iberian Front. And it's like this apartment building, and I feel like I go in there and it's like, okay, do I want to just like grenade launcher and kind of destroy the whole building, make them lose cover, or do I just want to like go in with the stupidly overpowered shotgun and just like slowly take them all out? It's that kind of thought, and you know, getting a squad together. It's like, okay, let's rush B, and it's just trailer footage. It feels like trailer footage, and I always love when games have that moment of like, damn, this looks like it could just be shot in a trailer, and it would not look out of place at all. So Battlefield 6, really digging it. Like I said earlier, I'm going to wait until see how the servers are going to launch before I jump in immediately, but I'm actually really excited to check it out. Hopefully the campaign is good if EA Motive is on it. So hopefully it's good, but we'll see. But Fusion, you're more of a Battlefield guy than me. How are you feeling about the beta?
Yeah, admittedly, I haven't played as much as you. I've still played a good amount. I've probably like 4 to 5 hours, which like over the last 2 weekends, which I feel like still enough to get like
That's
my
good.
bearings. Yeah, you know what I mean, get my bearings on the game. Before we started the podcast, we were talking a little bit, and I was saying like the more matches I play, the less enjoyment I'm getting, and that could be a plethora of things. It could be just like the beta's a limited version of the game. You know, we don't get all the maps, we're not getting all the guns, we're not like I'm leveling up, but it's not going to matter because it's going to all reset. But it's still a thing where I still prefer the Call of Duty shooting, and I think Battlefield is closer, but it still, to me, does not sniff how good Call of Duty shooting actually feels, especially with the damn default controls in this game.
Oh
For
my
every
God.
controller player out there, you have to watch a 20-minute video to change it, or it's going to be atrocious. So, Bop, if you're going to play with controller, you have to watch a video, or you're going to think this is the worst shooter of all time. Like, it's that bad.
Don't worry.
When it comes to like the default controller setting. So it's like things like that they gotta fix. The UI, the menus, atrocious. Some of the worst like in a multiplayer and the
Hulu
recent years.
menus.
Yes. But like at the end of the day, it is the best Battlefield I've played and probably since Battlefield 1 a decade ago, and I've played every Battlefield. Like I've always enjoyed Battlefield. Again, I've always been more Call of Duty kid, but I've always put still hundreds of hours into Battlefields when they come out. The shooting, like I said, it still feels good. The maps are kind of my issue right now. They all feel a little too samey to me for some reason, and I'm seeing a lot of people complain, especially on social media, that the maps are too small. Which, to me, they're still like larger size, but it does kind of feel like they're not as big as your normal Battlefield map. And I know EA has responded, and Battlefield Studios has responded. They said we're saving our biggest map for launch. Like, don't worry, we still have really giant maps, which is like that would be a good idea to get a better grasp. But it's like, I still can't help that. Like, I'm having fun, I'm doing the thing, but at the end of each game, I don't really have that like aggressiveness of like, okay, I immediately need to get in the next one. Like, I want to load it to the next one. I'm gonna do this on this map. I'm gonna get on this objective. It's more of the thing. It's just like, I play a game, have fun in it, and I'm like, okay, I'm done for now. Or like, I'll walk away and I'll play another match. Like, I'm not addicted as much as I have been to like even just Black Ops 6 beta a year ago around this time, where it's like that was a thing where I played for 8 hours. I was on there, I was loading in the map. But I think that's the difference of Battlefield and Call of Duty. Call of Duty is still so much more casual. Like, even though the games don't feel more casual because it's a sweat fest over in Call of Duty, and like you have to sweat at every moment, it's still that thing of like, you can load into a Call of Duty game and know within under 6 minutes, 8 minutes, you're on to the next match. Like, whatever happened in that match is you're in and you're out. Where it's like Battlefield, it still feels like an entire, like
20
you have
to
to
40.
commit. Yes, you're committing to playing this Battlefield game, especially if you're doing Conquest and one of the bigger modes with the bigger maps. It's like, this could take up to an hour, and you're gonna sit here for an hour, and you're gonna do this thing.
They do have like some King of the Hill domination modes
Mhm.
for like that are like about 10 minutes. But
Yeah,
like
like-
you said, like the main mode is still like 20 to 40.
Yes, like I've been playing recently a lot of the squad deathmatch stuff, which is new, and it's like 4v4v4v4, very much Call of Duty-esque type maps where it's like the smaller maps, and the games do go faster. It's like TDM to 50. It's like that's what I've been sticking with, but it's like still there's something missing fully on the shooting for me personally, that I'm like, it's just still not to the match I wanted of Call of Duty, where I could see myself picking Battlefield over Call of Duty at the end of the day. That being said, there will be millions of players who will pick Battlefield over Call of Duty this year, and it's going to be a good year for Battlefield fans.
I think it's just I've been so disillusioned with Call of Duty for so long, Fusion. Like ever since Modern Warfare 2019, which I know you disagree with me on, but I really dig that game. And I feel like since then it's just been kind of like a lot of slop. Warzone, I'm so sick of how they prioritize Warzone so much. And at the end of the day, they probably have to, because of how that game does comparatively sales and money wise compared to the main Call of Duty games even. But it's always the fact of like, damn, every year I'm like, just take a break year, like one break year. And I thought 2023 was finally going to be the year, but Bobby Kotick is like, no, actually, let's just release a really shitty Modern Warfare in game instead. And Modern Warfare 3 came out, and it was just an absolute travesty. And it's like, I think people are really frustrated with Call of Duty lately. And even Black Ops 7, or 6, I keep forgetting. Black Ops 6, people love that game at launch. And then a few months pass by, and everyone's like, there's so many cheaters, and there's this, and balancing. And you would know a lot more than me, but like people are disillusioned with Black Ops 6 even. And that was supposed to be like a big return to form for people. So it feels kind of weird that like, hey, even the one that everyone liked is also like people are kind of tired of Call of Duty still. And I think people are like, yeah, give me Battlefield. Give me like this vibe of just large scale destruction and battles. And people are fine with like, yeah, I'll invest the time. Let's be honest, most of the people playing this game are unemployed. So that definitely helps out. It's just, I don't know. I think it's at a state right now where, yes, a lot of people are going to pick Battlefield over Call of Duty. I still do think Call of Duty probably sells better this year, which sucks, at least to me, because I'm like, the best way for these companies to learn is to affect their wallets, and to show Battlefield is doing better than Call of Duty would be amazing. But Call of Duty is too powerful with the casual audience. So
way too casual. And it's still, and like, as much shit we want to give Call of Duty, there's no one better in the industry than the Call of Duty cycle of, no matter what the game looks like before Call of Duty comes out, there's a hype cycle. It doesn't make sense. It's like, and I'm part of it, to be honest. Like, there's only been a few Call of Duties in my life where I'm not part of that pre-hype cycle. But it's like, they do such a good job with those trailers and everything else that it's like, I don't know. And with Battlefield specifically, I'm in a weird spot where I'm way more excited for that free Battlefield BR than I am for Battlefield as the classic shooter, which I would have never thought I said. But the more I'm playing the beta, the more I'm like, this, I feel like all the systems that work here would be really cool in a Battle Royale setting. And it's like, that's going to be free. I don't have to spend $70. But they could go through the rabbit hole of, okay, once that BR comes out, if it's super successful, they're right where Call of Duty is. And then everything in Call of Duty is catered to Warzone, very much should happen with Battlefield.
Yep. We will see. I'm very interested to see how Battlefield does for EA. And hopefully I don't have to hear that it didn't meet expectations. But that's it, boys. That's an episode. like I said, not a lot of news, but I think we talked a lot about some really interesting stuff. I had a great time. You guys have fun?
Good. Especially when you name all the Black Ops 2 maps at me.
I would. I thought you were a hardcore Call of Duty fan, but I guess not.
I am, but that's like, I mean, that game's 13 years old.
Yeah, okay. Well, you should have know it by heart. That's your baby.
I've played 13 Call of Duty since then.
Listener out there, if you've made it this far, I want the record to state that Wolf added 3 segments into this episode.
Did you see the news? Did you see the news?
I'm just saying it wouldn't kill you to have an hour episode with me and Fusion so we could beat the allegations just once.
It is funny to always have you guys fight these allegations, though. All right. Hey, listen, we talked a lot about EA. Listen, next week we're gonna get back to normalcy. Because Gamescom, hopefully we're going to get a lot more gaming news that we can kind of dig into. So, hoping for it. But yeah, I had a good time. Hopefully everyone watching had a good time. Check us out, YouTube, Spotify, your favorite podcast platforms. We're going to be on there. Like us, comment, review, all that. And also follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at Slice of Gaming. With that, thank you for watching. Say goodnight, everybody.
Next week's podcast is all about the Silk song we saw a few days before.
Taylor Swift's new album, October 3rd.